Gotta catch the words, feel the fire burn bright. Fast takes for minds that never slow. Podcast beats where the talk can glow. Where the talk can glow. Where the talk can glow. Plug it in, power up, voices ignite. Robodosh leads under pixel light. Onesies got stats, snaps to slice scheme. Twisty drops, laugh, chasing a dream. Pokechats flying like Pokeballs thrown. Tales of battles, roads they've known. Electric banter charged like Raichu's tail. Every word's a spark, every joke a trail. Trainer lounge screaming loud in the night. Gotta catch the words, feel the fire burn bright. Fast takes for minds that never slow. Got podcast beats where the talk can glow. Slow-motion fires off facts like a cannon. Onesie counters with knowledge he's planning. Twisty cracks white slide grin, no doubt. Napster lays down truth, making the crowd shout. Endless voices like Zubat swarm. The lounge's energy breaks any norm. Wild and reckless, but always on track. Four friends talking, they ain't holding back. Trainer lounge screaming loud in the night. Gotta catch the words, feel the fire burn bright. Fast takes for minds that never slow. Podcast beats where the talk can glow. Endless voices like Zubat swarm. The lounge's energy breaks any norm. Wild and reckless, but always on track. Four friends talking, they ain't holding back. Trainer lounge screaming loud in the night. Gotta catch the words, feel the fire burn bright. Fast takes for minds that never slow. Podcast beats where the talk can glow. Where the talk can glow. Podcast beats where the talk can glow. Podcast beats where the talk can glow. Where the talk can glow. Plug it in, power up, voices ignite. Robodosh leads under pixel light. Onesies got stats, snaps to slice scheme. Twisty drops, laugh, chasing a dream. podcast where the talk can glow. Slobodosh fires off facts like a cannon. Onesie counters with knowledge he's planning. Twisty cracks white slide grin, no doubt. Nasta lays down truth, making the crowd shout. Endless voices like Zubat.
So I might need to mess about with audio levels. Okay, right. Checking. My mic should be fine. Twisty, how's yours?
I could have done something useful with that, but no, I decided to.
Right. I don't need to lower it too much. Should be fine. But I think we're both on the same level then. Right, okay. Okay, that should be fine. What is that? Is that okay, I'm gonna mute alerts for now. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? I'm getting alerts, but I don't know if it's coming through my thingy. MFG, you gotta change your title on Twitch? Alright, bro. Where is all of that coming from? I know, but I don't know where it's coming from because I don't think I've got that on my OBS. I don't think I've got. Bow to the masters. I don't know it's break it down. Okay, well.
Have you got lots of OBS open?
I've not got 2 lots of OBS open. I've only got 1.
Bow to the
it's happening again. I'm getting electricity. It's going to say it's not coming through for you for your OBS feed, is it?
No, I'm not actually sure what they're talking about.
No, so basically when someone. Well, let me check. It's not that. It's coming. It's coming from somewhere. It's basically I've got my alert to the the DX theme song. Break it down, bow, bow, now. That comes on every time someone follows, but I don't know. Break it down. Right, let me just close down a bunch of shit, man, because I don't know where it's coming from, so I just assume it's somewhere. Don't know. Bow to the masters. I can still fucking hear it. Bro, this shit fucking hates me. Okay. Right. I don't think I need that chat box open, because oh well, I've got the one on OBS, so I don't need to worry. Sorry about this, Twisty. We're nearly done, I think.
No, don't worry.
Right, just to check. Browser. Because obviously I just didn't want that blasting every couple of seconds. Let me just.
Makes sense.
Let me do this quickly. I'm just on the. I'm just doing that. 2 seconds. Okay, we'll go on it. If it keeps happening, then I'll have to apologise and try and work with it for the moment. Podcast 2 people. Okay, wouldn't be a party without technical issues every time we start one. Would not be the podcast, right? Okay, I'm gonna start recording this on the side just to upload it afterwards. But I'm gonna start in a 3, in a 2.
I might actually be recording on the side as well for
let's go, baby.
showcasing on my channel that this exists.
Yeah, man. I'm down, bro.
Maybe we're getting like 2 people extra.
Oh, bro, I'm down. Hey, I'm down. All right, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Flabberdash is back, but no longer says Flabberdash. It says MFG, but Twisty knows me as Flab, so he's probably going to be referring to me as Flab. The Trainer Lounge podcast is here now. A lot of my subscribers that are over on YouTube and that watch WWE content, this isn't a brand new podcast. We've been doing this shit for 4 years, bro. We've been doing this shit for a hot second, okay? But I've moved it over to this channel now just because this is where everyone's at, man. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? Why not? Okay, why not? But Twisty, welcome back on the podcast, bro. How are you?
Hi. I could also always call you Gas to gas you up. So,
You could.
yeah. Overall, great time. Always fun to have the podcast back. It's sad that we're missing the other two, but yeah, let's get this shit going.
I know there's normally 4 of us. Okay, it's very rarely we get all 4 at the same time, but normally it's either me, Twisty Nap, me, Twisty Wandy, or sometimes me and Napster on an occasion when Twisty is busy. But there is 4 of us, but this is Twisty. And of course, if anyone wants to try and reach out to Twisty, where can we actually find you, mate? Is there anywhere to find you? You're a hard guy to get hold of unless you're in the podcast chat, you know?
No, not even remotely. It's on YouTube and on Twitch. Just search for Twisty. You'll probably find me. It's the same profile picture that I have on Discord as my profile picture on the channel as well. So it's pretty easy to find.
Awesome, man. You guys know where to find me, alright? Discord, MFG, YouTube, fucking Twitch. You already know where I'm at, man. You already know where I'm at. A lot of you would be the first time this is actually seeing my face. So, me and Twisty probably look like strangers. A lot of my Pokemon community already know what I look like. But this is me. How are we, folks? Hello, hello, hello. So, Pokemon, Nintendo, hand in hand, right? But it's going to be a big week. Twisty, why is it a big week? Is there a certain thing coming out in 4 days?
No, nothing interesting coming out of it. No, of course, the big new console from Nintendo, Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out in exactly 4 days. I'm showing I'm such a fucking idiot.
5 days.
It's coming out in 4 days. And a lot of people are talking about it in every sense of the phrasing. Everyone is talking about it.
Absolutely. It's definitely a wild time to be a Nintendo fan. So many people right now are excited. Some people not so much. There's quite some hot topics in the world of Nintendo. We're going to be speaking about them. Fun story though, when Twisty said 4 and held up a 5, sometimes before on a Friday when I go to the pub after work, my mate will say to me, "Are you only having 1 drink? You're only having 1 drink, right?" And then I'm like, "Nah, I might have about 6. I might have about 6, you know, or if I'm feeling frisky, about 3. Okay, about 3 drinks." Fun little story. Yo, voices.
Probably had
What's going
4
on?
already, so it checks out.
Well, I'm on a very, very loose water month this month, so we're drinking a lot of water, so I'm not going to be drinking alcohol, to be fair. So, yeah, man, everything's crazy right now. But first of all, before we get into the news and that, Twisty, how is life? How are you? And what you been up to, bro?
Overall, pretty good. A lot of job checking and all that stuff. So that's been interesting to get back into. And overall, just actually being carried by my pretty good mood just in general. So that's interesting change of pace.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Have you been doing any content or any streams yourself? Or you just been chilling, really? What have you been up to? Like in the content creation
I
world?
actually did come back to streaming a while ago. I've been playing a decent amount of Xenoblade X. On the video side, I am still struggling to get the motivation to actually start editing videos again, but I might be coming back for that.
I mean,
70% chance.
Legends EA is coming out this year, bro. Still ain't got that Legends Arceus review yet, you know? It's a...
No, for fuck's sake. I should have never teased it. I should have never said it.
Just Dave said, MFG, what's good, man? Yo, Just Dave, welcome into the podcast, bro. How are you? Also, hello to Voices. I did say hello. Shout out to Voices rapper Exotic Sophie, also coming in to say hello. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you. In my life, things are going crazy right now. Things are going a little bit wild. I'm back at work. I was actually back at work last week. I'm back at work this week. I'm now on a run of work weeks for like 7 weeks. And then I've got 6 weeks off for a holiday. For the summer holiday, so that summer's going to be very fun. I'm going to try and have a lot of content coming out. Last summer I said that I did no streams throughout the entire summer. I played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think, for the whole summer. So I'm going to try and be productive.
Good game.
It's a very
good
good
shit.
game. It is a very good game. Although, speaking of it being a good game, there's rumours of that coming on the Switch too. But, so to get into the news, Nintendo, right? The Nintendo Switch. Now, Twisty, how long did we speculate for the Nintendo Switch? The sequel, number 2. How long did we speculate about that console for on this podcast?
I think for as long as I've been on, I think it's been that long.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've been on
That
since
would be almost
2023.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years
Pretty
ago.
much, yeah, pretty much 2 years at this point, I would say.
2 years, bro. And I mean, I know me and Wanzi started talking about it from 2021. So, you know, for a good 4 years, we've been speculating. Now, we said a lot in the past. The things that I said, A, backwards compatibility would be a thing. Thankfully, I was correct. Backwards compatibility is kind of. There's like 96% of games that could be played. There is a small percentage that can't. We can talk about that though. Another thing that I did say was I didn't believe Pokemon Legends EA would be an exclusive to the Switch 2. A lot of people did. A lot of people said it would. I said there's no way it will. There's no way it will. Right? It's gonna be either cross-gen or it'll be open to the Switch 1. And again, boom, hit the fucking nail on the head with that one as well. So I'll take a dub with that. But Nintendo Switch 2, right now the big hitters are Mario Kart World, that's coming out on the 5th of June, and Donkey Kong Bonanzas or something. What's it called? What's the new one called? The new Donkey
Yeah.
Kong. Yeah. So Twist, I don't know if you're getting the Switch 2 straight away. I know Sophie's not. I know quite a lot of people I know are not, which is absolutely cool. I don't blame. I'm doing it just for content, really. It'll pay for itself over the long term. Are you looking to get the Switch 2 this year, Twist? Are you going to hold off? Because it's an expensive console, bro.
It is extremely expensive. I am probably gonna hold off up until maybe next year even. However, it's not just for pricing reasons. I might be able to like cheat it out some. No, I could probably get it if I really wanted to. However, the main concern that I have is the way that Nintendo is handling the consumer base when it comes to the Switch 2. This is basically the next point on our topics list. Because Nintendo, I think the Switch 2 made them really overconfident. Because, I mean, people were expecting the Switch to fail after they saw what the Wii U did. And basically, a lot of people are mixed about the Switch 2 right now, because there are people who still compare it to like it was the Wii, then the Wii U, that flopped, it was the Switch, then the Switch 2, so that might flop, like the cycle and all that. And I'm not following the list of like how bad is it gonna flop. I'm more so following the trend of how much damage is it gonna do to the image of Nintendo, because it's absolutely insane the stuff that Nintendo is doing right now to basically protect its property. And one of those things, for instance, being that if they find software on your console that they don't agree with, they can brick your console. They can make it unusable.
So when you say don't agree
Now,
with, what do you mean? Sorry, just to elaborate.
Yeah. So basically, this is me going back into my past, and I learned in retail. If I buy something with my money, that's mine. So it's my property.
Yeah.
And Nintendo basically goes away from this very notion of very basic money versus property exchange, and they basically say, you basically only have a license to use our console, and we still dictate whether or not your console is gonna be workable. If we don't like what you're doing, we're gonna brick it. And it's basically as tone deaf as the isolated statement of people have to get used to not owning their games. Like the Ubisoft subscription guy, Philip, I actually have it on the side here. Philippe, should have marked the Philippe Tremblay. He basically had an interview where he said that a lot of people are really engaged in the subscription-based style of Ubisoft Plus, and that a lot of people really like that idea, that they have millions of subscriptions, and with those subscription bases, you don't always have the same games available. It's kind of like with PS Plus, the games switch basically. And basically, he said that people would have to get comfortable with the idea of not owning the games. They would keep their save files. It's more like an accessibility thing. If you have an internet connection, you can still access the save file and all that. And I don't know. He does say that they still think that people can make the choice between purchasing and just having the subscription. But if you look at the statement in isolation, which a lot of people have done, and rightfully so, because the statement by itself is just incredibly tone deaf, it's really problematic, and Nintendo is doubling and tripling down on this very notion. You should be comfortable not owning anything that you buy with your own money. And I think that's just, it's pathetic. It's really pathetic. That's my point.
I know you said hello to Jordan. I know he's waving. I just want to say hello, Jordan. Welcome in. Juggalo Wrestling pretty much echoes the statement you just said. You will own nothing and be happy. I will rebuttal.
Essentially.
I'm not going to rebuttal it because I actually agree with you mostly. I do agree with you completely, actually. But obviously, for devil's advocate's sake and content's sake, I will try and somehow jump into the mind of a Nintendo fanboy and argue the point, right? Also, Sophie, no one else has said it in the chat yet. Twisty hasn't mentioned it. I was just listening to Twisty and I looked up at the trainer lounge and I see it says trainer Langnay. If you have a look at the podcast, you'll see trainer Langnay. So we'll try and fix that. We'll try and fix that before people start going, bro, do you not know how to spell? So we'll fix that at some point, but don't worry. Voices like the counter argument would be if you mod it and something clashes with an update, they will blame Nintendo. Voices said. And Juggalo said, basically it has your biometrics on it. They can strip away your license if the Nintendo console. That's ridiculous. So, in a sense to argue, the reason why they're doing this, if you are to mod your Nintendo console, there's one reason why you're going to mod it. One reason. There's potentially more than one, but the main reason you would mod the Nintendo Switch console, let's face it, is for piracy reasons, okay? That's why most people mod it. Now, some people mod it so it has access to Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy games, and however, Nintendo have a thing in place where if you want to play those games, you've got to rent it off us for a subscription, which I don't agree with either, at all. Just Dave said, Switch 2 is looking like a pass for me overall. They're getting too comfortable screwing over the consumer. That's the thing, and I wanna talk about that to echo Twisty's statement. So, Twisty said, sorry, not Twisty said. I was looking at the information of all of Nintendo's consoles, right? And Game Boy obviously being one of the cheapest. Now we know as hardware increases and hardware gets better, hardware gets more expensive. So I understand that completely. But over the years, there have been consoles that have dropped ridiculously expensive. And Nintendo have had to go back on that. One being the Nintendo 3DS, I believe, releasing at $350. That flopped so badly, they literally slashed, I think, 35% of the price. And the president of Nintendo took a pay cut in half. Literally half his salary due to that. That was, I forgot his name. He passed away. He was a legendary... Iwata, sorry, that's the one. Iwata, he was very much a gamer. Now, a person in charge of Nintendo is not a gamer. He's already said he's not a gamer. He's essentially a banker, and there's a reason we know why he's the head of Nintendo. Because if you're the head of Nintendo, you're the head of money, baby. So I understand that.
Yep.
Second thing, the head of Nintendo of America actually used to be a high up in electronic arts. So, and anti-consumer and electronic arts, EA, tend to go hand in hand. So there's two big things for the Switch 2, right? It's worrying. It's a very expensive console, $500, obviously £400 in England. A lot of people will say to me, yo, MFG or Flabberdash, why have you bought the Switch 2 straight away? Now, listen, if I was a normal, casual consumer, I wouldn't get it yet. But the money I've made off Twitch, the money I've made off YouTube has paid for the Nintendo Switch 2. I've not bought that from my own money. The money that people have, you know, either subbed with or I've got from the content, I've poured that back into something that's also going to help in content. So I've tried to be smart and not use my wage or anything like that. And I implore a lot of you to do that. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying all of you are content creators, but I implore a lot of people to at least maybe get one second hand. Maybe get one second hand, because at least then you're not giving the money to Nintendo directly.
And one quick thing, since we're talking about second hand, don't buy from scalpers. Never do that. Never.
Nope. I'm just gonna quickly just mute me and Twisty's face cam, just so I can go on Sophie's messages, because I don't know what's in them DMs. Alright, I don't think any of you need to see that.
I can see it. Look.
No, I imagine it's just overlays, but where is it?
Because the thumbnail's wrong as well.
Oh, the thumbnail's wrong. Damn.
Use the same thing, you know.
So I'll sort it out. Right, let me just. It should automatically fix now.
Say my bad, but you also didn't notice either.
I noticed before you. Right, let me just get the face cams back on. There we go, folks. There we go. Right, there was nothing bad in the DMs, sadly, or nothing too spicy in the DMs. It was just sadly, right? It was just overlays, but just in case. You never know what surprise you might encounter, right? Napster said, I see I went away for a few weeks and now we've rebranded the pod here. I mean, we got a new look, you know. I've got a new name, so it's a bit different. Napster said, hi MFG and Twist, much love, even though I can't join for a meaningful amount of time today. Folks, this is Napster Potato, another one of our co-hosts. He's a legend, just like Twisty is, all right? He comes on the podcast. He has a lot to say regarding these topics. He's a lot of fun. I've done content with Napster now for a while. He's one of the bros. You'll be hearing Napster and seeing Napster a lot in the future on this channel, so stay tuned for Napster Potato. Get to know him. He's one of the most humble and respectable people I know. He's genuinely such a friendly person. I can't say a bad thing about Napster, you know. I genuinely can't. He's
not.
Such a good person. Juggalo said, nice. Napster said, if I didn't get it for hella cheap, I wouldn't also have gotten it day one. Buying a license to only use the system is an absolute joke. The tie to EA makes significantly more sense. The whole thing is a joke. Just Dave said, I barely got my Switch last year too. I'd rather invest in that still, to be honest. There are fantastic games on the Nintendo Switch too, right? I mean, the original Nintendo Switch. I'm sure Twisty could name off 20, right? You know, Xenoblade, all of the games are on the system. You know, Pokemon has had a few decent games on the Switch as well. You know, we've got the new one coming out this year. And a lot of the new Switch games, like, for example, Pokemon, will be coming out on the Switch 1. There's a lot of you that don't even need to get a Switch 2. You just need to think, is it, like, if you're a Pokemon fan, are you going to buy a whole new system just for better frames and better, you know, better quality? So it's a difficult one. But so what I was trying to say was about the prices. This is the most expensive console Nintendo's ever had. I will say the specs are very good. 4K 60.
Yeah, absolutely.
4K 60. Not for every game, let's be honest. There's going to be some games that are huge and massive that probably won't. Not every game will be 60 frames. Not every game on a PS5 and Xbox Series X are 60 frames, right? Despite it being next gen. That's just not going to be the case. Certain games will. A lot more games will.
But in a lot of cases, that's just a developer not knowing how to optimize or having different development focuses. So that's also part of the whole shebang.
No, absolutely, man. It's very worrying. Like, for example, I'll be getting the family pack for, you know, the Nintendo Online membership. Mm-hmm. I'll be getting the best version of that because obviously it's got the GameCube games. You know, Pokemon Gale of Darkness was confirmed. I'm pretty sure. I think Colosseum was. They wouldn't have Gale of Darkness without Colosseum.
I think
right?
both.
Yeah. They wouldn't have one. They wouldn't have one without the other. I don't think. And I want to experience those games. It just sucks that I can't buy those old games. It just sucks that I've got to have a membership to play them games. Now, I have Xbox Game Pass, but the difference with that is every single brand new game comes to that, right? So I'm saving a lot more money in the long run on Xbox Game Pass than I would be Switch Online. But I don't like the fact that I have to have a membership to play old games. I wish I could just buy them, but then Nintendo wouldn't make a lot of money doing that, would they? You know?
Oh no.
Voice says the console price is fine for natural inflation in gaming consoles. Both not release date. Yeah, both are not on the release date of the Switch.
Yeah,
See,
that's a valid point, especially with how better and better equipment is also just expensive, more expensive than what's previously available.
yeah,
Fair point.
no, absolutely. So I'm not going to argue the Switch 2 isn't worth the price. I'm not going to say the Switch 2 console is not, because there are some fantastic upgrades to the Switch 2. If you compare the Switch 2 to the Switch, it's night and day. It's completely night and day. One system is a potato, one system is a jacket potato. Okay, one's got cooked, one's a little bit more tastier. All right, one's a bit better than the other. The one thing I will argue, though, and I think we're going to have a debate right now, probably not between me and Twisty, because I think me and Twisty are going to agree with each other on this one. But is Mario Kart World worth $80? Are
No.
these no? Okay, chat. What about you? What about you? Do you think Mario Kart World is worth $80 fucking? Now it's like £70 over here or something like that. But now with the now there are going to be some people that go, but MFG, it's in a bundle. That is true. That is true, and that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad it's in a bundle. But if you're not getting that bundle, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for you. You're gonna have to spend $80 to get this game, right? Is any game that I suppose some games are worth $80? Like GTA 6 will be worth $80, or the predicted $100. I think it would be for the content you get in that game. For how long we've had to wait, I think it'd be worth it. Mario Kart though. Now, Twisty, what do you think? Why do you think it's $80? First of all, I want to get into it.
There have been a lot of discussions about that, and one of the talking points regarding that price range for Mario Kart World specifically is the lifespan that is expected of that game. So basically, Mario Kart World is like the Mario Kart that is supposed to last you through the entire lifespan
Generation.
of the
Yeah.
Switch 2, and it's also like the once in a console basically title for this very game. So you could argue if they were to bring out a second game, then they would reduce the price to make it more like accustomable for their own reasoning in that regard. However, I still think that they are vastly overestimating the actual impact of the game. I'm not saying that Mario Kart is a bad game here, okay? That's not what I'm trying to say. I think Mario Kart is one of the best franchises on the planet. Yeah, I know. Weird take from someone who's been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pretty much 100 hours in the week that it came out. Uh, the thing that I'm trying to say here is that yeah, it's open world. Yeah, it's basically free roaming. Yeah, it has all these new mechanics like grinding, like wall riding and all that. But at the end of the day, it is still Mario Kart, and if you take into account how much repetition is in Mario Kart alone, I would argue that 70 would be a max, quite honestly. Like if we compare Mario Kart to a potential GTA 6, of course, um, GTA has so much more variety, and like of course there are gonna be like those repetitive missions, but those repetitive missions are not like 90% of the entire package that you get. Even with Pokemon, you can argue, well, you have the main story, you have challenge modes. Well, not in the modern games because Game Freak hates us. Uh, you have the online scene, you have like all of these opportunities to interact with the community, be it trading, be it just in Skull and Violet interacting with individuals, maybe having like fun races or whatever. You can be very creative in that regard. If it was just the the VGC aspect, I would argue that despite the bad quality of Skull and Violet specifically, um, the price point, if it was just competitive battling, it would be maximum 40, maybe if you want to stretch it, $50. Not higher, not even remotely. And I think this is the point where Nintendo is kind of tone deaf in their rationalization, saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be that one racing game from Mario Kart on the Switch 2, therefore it's more expensive." No. You choose to make that price the way it is, and you rationalize it away to make people less mad at it. And from just last point, sorry, I know I talk a lot.
You're cool, man.
I'm
I'm
a
just
wordy
listening,
bitch
bro.
after all.
Hey, take your time, bro. I spend a lot of time talking on this channel. You're all good.
From the one live stream, I think it was only one live stream they've done to showcase Mario Kart World. A lot of people have been saying in chat, and this is what we're supposed to spend $80 on. Basically, I think over 70% of people were completely confused why this game is that expensive. And I mean, I haven't watched a lot of it. I have mainly just heard about those comments. If that is true, that there is not much to basically justify the $80, I think that you should definitely either get the package deal, which was probably more close to the actual value of Mario Kart World, or you should wait until Nintendo is so pressured into reducing the price, which honestly, let's be real, it's Mario Kart, it's not gonna happen, that they're gonna go down to like $60. Or if you can get it on sale for like 50, maybe that's a good deal. I don't know yet. We're gonna have to wait until the game comes out, and a lot of people actually give out reviews or recommendations to get Mario Kart World or not.
No, absolutely, man. I thought there's a lot of good points there, bro. There's a lot of good points there. See, my thing with it, personally, obviously, I just want to... Napster said, sorry for the text walls. I'm very opinionated on the Nintendo bullshit. Nah, bro, please don't apologise. And I don't want anyone... Like, I don't want Twisty to feel bad because he's talking or whatnot. I don't want anyone to feel bad if they're sharing opinions, because that's what we're here for. Also, I welcome it.
I talked for 10 minutes straight. Don't feel bad about a wall of text.
It's okay, bro, because I'm about to talk for 20 minutes straight now. But like, so Voicey says, and the counter to it all. Oh no, sorry. Voicey said earlier that if it includes the DLC, it will be worth the price. If it doesn't, it will not.
Won't.
It will not include the DLC. Do you know why? Because if it was going to, they would have said it. They would have said for £80 you'll get Mario Kart and all the DLC. No. They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna probably put out another map pack like they did with. Remember map packs from back in the day? It's crazy. They're gonna put like a race pack in like they did with Mario Kart 8, where it's got all of the old races from different games, right? Because that's probably what they'll do. Unless another thing they could do in the whole open world, if there's an area you can't go to for whatever reason, hint, hint, that area will probably be a DLC area, right? A lot of games do that. There'll be a portion of the map that for whatever reason you can't go to, or it's just out of reach, and that's a DLC area. A lot of games do that. Voices said the counter to it all, the Bloodline edition of WWE 2K was nearly $200, and a new one comes out next year. I would like to rebuttal that it was not nearly $200, it was $130. Now that isn't nearly $200, that's $70 off. It's closer to $100 than it is $200. But first of all, that $130 includes all the DLC. Okay, DLC. I think the DLC season pass is like £25. It also includes a supercharger pack, which makes it so you get access to all the content that you don't have to actually buy with in-game currency. You can't buy it normally with real money. It's just, it helps speed up the progress in the game, essentially. I'm not here to say the Bloodline edition is worth it. I am not, trust me. I'd say the Undertaker edition at like £90 is probably worth it. I'd say for everything you get. Bloodline wasn't, I'll be honest. Bloodline wasn't. And it was £120. So, no, I only spent... Was it 120 so? Bloodline edition? Yes, it was 120. So yeah, that would be like $130. But it wasn't nearly 200. But it wasn't worth the money. So a point on that is it's just, you know, it's a different kettle of fish. This is Nintendo. Nintendo is for casual gamers, right? Nintendo is for families, right? That's Nintendo's whole marketing. Their whole marketing has been for family and friends and everyone playing together. That's why you can have one Joy-Con each, right? That's what they've been trying to show for months, for years, right? Since the Switch. We all remember the Switch OG trailer, right? Where there's that little screen and 4 friends are huddled around with a little controller, right? Like, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to try and make it so, oh, you can play with your whole friends and family. Juggalo said GTA 6 is going to be fire, 12 in the making. Jordan said, I only got a Switch on my own a year and a half ago, and I was waiting for a Switch 2 announcement, but got tired of waiting. If I get a Switch 2, it'll be once as an exclusive I like, and it will be from CEX, which is, for those who don't know CEX, it's a shop over here where you can buy pre-owned games, right? Which is probably one of the best cases you can do if you don't like a consumer or you don't like the company that it's releasing on. You get it from a pre-owned game, right? Because then Nintendo don't touch your money. Someone else touched your money. Someone else gave Nintendo money. You didn't do it, all right? So that's always an option. Adam said, if Switch 2 had an achievement system, I'd get it. So I want to talk about that for a second. Obviously, we know Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam all have achievements/trophies, right? What's your opinion on Nintendo not having achievements, Twist? Do you think they should? Or do you think because of their marketing of casual gamers, they don't want to include it? Like, look, imagine if a Pokemon game had an achievement system for whatever reason. You know?
I'm very mixed on achievements in general. Like, for some of them, it's really cool to see them pop up, like getting those platinum trophies because you completed a game on PlayStation. That's pretty cool. And for people who are really dedicated towards like a game or a franchise, that's very interesting, of course. But I don't think that Nintendo would ever want to promote that. Not only because they're just family based, but I think that they're also more like, I don't think they see the value behind it, quite frankly. Like, not to say that every achievement in the world has value. There are achievements for starting up the game in very rare instances, at which case, you don't understand what achievements are, developer. Please stop doing it. I'm pretty much on the topic. I'm pretty much on the side of I don't want achievements in Nintendo games. From Nintendo, as the consoles themselves having that feature. I would like games keeping track of achievements. Like, for instance, if you play an RPG, highest damage number. If you play a racing game, fastest laps. Like, most games do that in general anyway. However, I think that games should expand on that topic a little more to have like these memories. Okay, memories is probably a big word for that, but to have like recorded interactions that maybe you can like. This sounds romanticized, but that you can reminisce about, and I think that in general, maybe we should like tell developers that we want that in games more, because we can't count on Nintendo for that anyway. I mean, Nintendo, they don't do anything for the consumer because it's the best for the consumer. If they look like they do anything for the consumer, it's because some of their products are just simply bricking on the market and they want to sell them. That's the thing that we need to remind ourselves about Nintendo. They are not there for us. They are there for themselves. Just like 99% of all publishers, developers, whatever. But just a quick memory about that.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, I feel that. It's with the achievement thing. It's like Adam Ash just said. I'm just wondering what would they lose from adding it though. It would be simple, no. So the reason I don't think it would be simple. By the way, I would love it to be included. There's two things I'll say. Number one, there's a lot of gatekeepers that go, "Have you platinumed the game?" And I'm like, well, no. And they're like, oh, but you can't call yourself a real fan then. A real fan would 100% complete the game. Now, not all people do that, of course. There are some achievement hunters that go, oh, cool, man. This means I can get 100 hours extra out the game. Oh, dope, I've fully completed it. I can't wait till the next game. There's some normal people. And then there's some gatekeepers that go, I'm the best because I've done this fucking challenge, right? Like, I was one of those people. I was one of the first people in the world on Xbox to get an achievement in WWE 2K25, and I put on Twitter, I was like, by the way, 0.1% of players have earned this achievement, and that was me, okay? Right, that was fucking me, chat, but I never gatekeeped, you know, like, it's... I don't like that part of it. The number 2 reason why I don't think they do, and this is the I don't think number 1 is a reason why they do. I don't think they care about that. I think number 2 is the reason they don't
like a
do
fun
it.
fact.
Yeah, I think that's more of a thing why some games are happy it's not there. But I think number 2 is the reason they don't. Number 1, if there was an achievement system, every developer would have to include that when making the game. They would have to then track the game to make sure it activates the achievement when it drops. There's so many games that achievements are bugged, and then the developers have to go back and fix it. It's another task on top of game development. So I don't think it's as simple as it would be easy. Would I want it to be included? Absolutely. I just don't think it's an easy inclusion. It's like developers have to do it for PlayStation and Xbox, and that's already 2 different systems, right? If then third party have to do it for the Switch 2, because we know there's a lot more third party developers releasing on the Switch 2, that's another system on top that they have to include that for. So I don't know. I'd like it to be a thing. I'll be honest, I would. I just don't think it ever will, because it's Nintendo's families, right? That's why. Because now if you've got kids and they both want a Switch, you're going to have to sell an organ. To get the console, which is fucking great. But I want to talk about the subscription for just a second. Nintendo Switch Online. Is Nintendo Switch Online worth it, Twisty?
If we're talking quantity, yeah. Actually, yes.
Considering there's 2 versions, by the way. Basic and then the one that includes Nintendo 64 and all that.
Yeah, I was actually talking about the one that includes like all the games.
Okay.
If we're just talking quantity, probably yes. If we're talking quality, it's more of a how much of a certain console do you really want to play? Like, this is where we get into the quantity is there, so therefore you can argue it's worth it, but then I shouldn't have said quality, to be fair. It's more of a how much of the quantity are you actually interested in? Quantity versus interest, basically. And like for me personally, if I had to pay like $50 every year for that, I wouldn't get it, because there's like maybe 3 or 4 games on the entire catalog that I would want to play realistically. And for that, it's not the value that you're looking for.
No, absolutely. I think I want to rebuttal something Voices said. Voices said it's the best price of the 3 main consoles. Okay, price-wise, I'm not going to rebuttal that. I suppose it's the best out of the 3. However, when Xbox Game Pass is a much better subscription, just because every brand new game comes to Xbox Game Pass day and day, and all you do is pay £10 a month. You pay £10 a month, and you get every brand new game that month. Not only that, you get hundreds of back catalogue games included, right? So there's that too. So I think Game Pass is not been beaten in terms of a subscription yet. Like, if Nintendo's subscription made it so you could play the brand new Pokemon game day one for a Netflix subscription, right? You don't have to pay anything extra. It just comes to the system while you've got a subscription. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, they don't do that. For me, I don't know if it's worth it unless I was making content. Like, realistically, how much is? Can someone look online for me at how much the Nintendo subscription is for the extra version? Like, I forgot off heart of how much it actually is.
Pretty sure it's like 70 or 80
a year.
I'm not quite sure.
How much is that a month? I was talking basic for online play. No, I would disagree. If you're talking basic for online play, I would completely disagree then, because again, I don't play PlayStation too much because I don't want to talk about PlayStation, but with Xbox, obviously we've got Game Chat, right? We've got Party Chat where we can talk to people. By the way, that's a feature Nintendo are pushing this year, by the way. It's a brand new feature to their console. You can now talk to your friends' chat. How unbelievable. I can actually talk to Twisty. Oh wait, I've been able to do that the past 10 fucking years on Discord. Well done, Switch. Well done. You've caught up to Xbox 360. What the fuck? But like I don't know, like we have to get our hands on the console before we know if it's worth it. In terms of online features, there's not a lot really. Like I don't know. I don't think it's worth it personally. I don't think the online membership's worth it. The catalogue of games is great, but then there's not many, let's be honest. How many games released on the GameCube? But they're only releasing like what? They've only shown 10, 15?
I think it was just 10. However, like for me personally, I think that from the starting catalog of every console that they've brought to Nintendo's online, basically as a playable console, I think the GameCube has the selection of games that I'm most interested in, specifically Wind Waker and the two Pokemon spin-offs, let's call them that.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the price online just so I can get it. Voices said 50 a year. Thank you, Voices. I'm just taking a look at how much. Let me have a look.
Yeah, it's 20 a year. Yeah.
Oh, I've got it. Oh, okay, it's not bad then. That's not bad. All right, so the Nintendo Switch Online basic individual membership cost £17.99 for 12 months, or £6.99 for 3 months, which isn't bad. The family membership for 12 months costs £31, which way you can have up to 5 people use it. So that isn't bad at all. If you can have 5 people who go, hey man, let's jump together on a yearly membership, it'd be easy, right? Plus expansion pass. Individual membership is $34.99 for 12 months. So I don't think that's that bad. The Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack individual membership. Okay, so how much is the family pack for the expansion pack?
I think that's like 80 bucks or something like that.
$80 for the
Maybe
that's
70.
Crazy, bro. What? I'm just trying to have a look now. It just says here. Does it even say, bro? I don't know. So individual for the. So I'm on about the expanded. I'm talking about the best version, if you will. Does it not? That's just a basic one. It doesn't really give me an option for the expanded. Let me have a look. Expanded. Let me have a look. Just trying to take a look, folks. Family expansion is £60 a year. Is that for one person? Oh, family plan. Oh, okay. I see you. Thank you.
Family pack is. It shows for me €70.
Right, yes, that's about £60. All right, thank you, Voices. I appreciate that. That's not that bad. I mean, for £60 isn't that bad for 5 people for a family. Yeah, that's not that bad. That's actually pretty good, to be fair. I'll say that. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think it's bad in terms of price. You're definitely correct. That is the best price because, like, with Xbox, you can have up to 2 people if you game share, and that's about £120 a year, right? Because it's like £10 a month. Probably same with PlayStation, although I don't know if game sharing's on that. So I'll give Nintendo a dub with that one. That's pretty good, to be fair. Is it also for 8, not 5? No, the family's 5, isn't it? So, yeah, we've used the family membership a lot. You can only have up to 5 people on it. You've always only been able to have 5 people, which is a shame. Family is 8. I don't think family is 8, bro. Unless they've changed it. Is that for expanded though? Because I've not got family expanded. I've got the basic membership for family. Oh, is it up to 8 now? That's crazy. Because we used it last month and it only let us use 5. But is that for Nintendo Switch too? That's crazy. When did they update it then? Because we've been using that for fucking it. We've been putting loads of people on ours, and we've always been capped out at 5. Yeah, we've had to like take people away from it and add different people. That's weird. I don't know if that's for expanded though, or if that's for normal. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, it doesn't really let me. It's only ever said 5, literally. It's only ever said 5. So unless it's an update thing, I'm not too sure. MFG and Twisty, who is your go-to in Mario Kart? Bray said. Yo, what's happening, Bray? Twist, who's your go-to in Mario Kart?
I've been playing Yoshi basically all my Mario Kart 8 time.
Yosso! I like. Oh, I don't know. Do I be a basic bitch and say Mario? No. I like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. I also like the Mii character. You know, when you play as your Mii, I like playing as the Mii character. I'll be honest with you. I like feeling like it's me actually playing the game. So I don't know. I'm weird like that. I like playing as the Mii. So I'm a Mii type. Let me know, chat, who's your go-to. Let me know. Let me know who's your go-to, chat. So, talking of Mario Kart 8, right? We know it's an open world. We know there's a lot of new mechanics in the game, and let's be honest, right? It's definitely an improvement over Mario Kart 8. It looks like. I mean, first of all, it's better quality in terms of the graphics. It looks much better, which it's expected for the console, right? The biggest Mario Kart game we've ever had in terms of an open world being split into races, different modes that are in the game, new mechanics. Would you not say it's the best Mario Kart Twist? I know we've not played it, but from what we've seen and what we know, I think it's a pretty safe bet, no?
Judging quality before you actually get to like experience the finished product is always a bit strange to me. Quite honestly, I think it's definitely the most ambitious game. Because it pushes so many boundaries and it actually allows us free roam, which is bonkers. Um, from what's visible from like all the way that you can from all the ways that you can interact with the map and like the increased racer size. I just saw that. Thank you, Bray. um I would say that it's probably the best in terms of what's available in a given race. Yeah, with the size, with the ways that you can interact with the track. I think it's fair to say that it's probably the best value for what you can have in one single race. Just to put that out there, and the free roaming aspect, it's not really quantifiable because I don't think that free roaming has like a value to it. Because yeah, you have all of these points of interest that you can go to, but you can also ignore them. So everything is like pretty much optional. So it's pretty unquantifiable,
Yeah, no,
at
no,
least
of
if you ask
course.
me.
No, that's fair. Obviously, I'd like to go just say, obviously, Twisty's right. It's hard to say, oh, this game is the best one without playing it. Of course, I get that. But, I mean, if it drops with the quality that Mario Kart 8 did, because it's very rare a Mario Kart game drops and it's shit quality, right? Let's be honest. It's genuinely,
Yeah.
it's, I doubt that it's like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They didn't drop with shit quality. So I think we've got faith the game's going to be good. Like, so I'm just basing it off of what we've got previously. Like, I can't see in a world that it drops into a a really bad state. I don't think it will. I'm just taking a look at. We do have two new game modes. We have Knockout Tour and Free Roam. Knockout Tour is where you'll start on one side of the map. You do a race, but as you do a race, you do another race and you go across the map. If you don't finish in a certain place, you get knocked out the race. And I like that.
I forgot about that. That's pretty interesting.
Sort of like a battle royale in a racing game, right? As you go on, people get knocked out, sort of,
Yeah,
kind of. Probably not a battle royale. That's more like a knockout tournament, but in a different aspect. I'm just trying to take a look.
To modernize the term, it's basically a battle royale race,
I mean,
just without the circle.
yeah, essentially, yeah. There's no gas chasing you down. No, technically, you get knocked into the gas, right? Because it's like you finished 8th and then you get took over and shit. New features: racers can have up to 24 players, as we've already said, doubling from the 12 seen in Mario Kart Wii 8 and 8 Deluxe, and tripling from the 8 seen in other entries. Players receive points in racing as before, with some positions now receiving the same number of points. So, certain positions you finish in, which I mean, there's 24, right? So that makes sense. Although underwater diving and anti-gravity do not return, gliding does, with gliders being replaced by retractable wings installed in the vehicles. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. I always thought the parachutes were just weird. I don't know. I don't know about you. I thought it was a little bit. At any point you want to add something to us, just interrupt because I'm just reading out the features and stuff. By all means.
Oh no, go ahead.
When going over water, the wheels of the vehicles change into water skis, allowing them to float on the surface of the water. Both of these mechanics create a comparable vehicle system to Diddy Kong Racing. Many new mechanics are introduced into this game. Vehicles now have the ability to drive on walls after a height boost and balance on grind rail, and other thin platforms to quickly charge up mini turbos when holding down the button after a hop without turning. Players can charge up the charge jump instead of initiating a drift. So you can have like a little boost every here and there. After such a jump, the player is granted with a small speed boost similar to the mini turbo. The jumps can be changed, yielding blue, then yellow granting a longer lasting boost after landing. A new rewind feature has also been added, which, by the way, Forza had that first, so fuck you, Nintendo. No, a rewind feature has been added, which allows the player to rewind their position back to where they were before. However, the feature does not rewind the other racers and can only be used in free roam and other solo races. So, for those that have not seen that feature, if you hit into a wall, you can rewind to before you hit that wall, but it doesn't rewind the other racers, so they still carry on going. So I think that's cool. Like, I'm glad that's in the game. It's interesting. Unlike previous installments, all of the courses in the game take place in a large open world connected by the new introduced routes, which are long, non-looping tracks filled with various hazards connect from one course to another during races. Footage in a Nintendo 2 reveal trailer shows racers seamlessly racing on Mario Bros. Circuit in the route leading to Crown City with no starting countdown. Some modes allow players to configure an intermission in the rules when playing online, although it's currently unknown what this refers to or which mode supports this feature. Players are able to enter large vehicles scattered throughout the world, such as cargo trucks, boats, or UFOs, and control them from the inside. Visually, the game is the first entry in the series, and the first Super Mario game overall that can be played in resolutions higher than 1080p. So the first Mario Kart game ever that can be in 4K, which is a little bit wild, to be fair. But it seems like we're getting a lot with this game, man. So like, it brings back to that topic: is it going to be worth 80? Because Nintendo said, I think was it Doug Bowser that was asked? Someone was asked in Nintendo about their opinion on the price of the games, and they said every game.
I think it was Bowser, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Doug Bowser. Every single game will be... Oh, there are new races as well. Goombo, Spike, and Cow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. There are new races as well added, which is just a thing in Mario Kart.
I was here to take revenge.
Yeah, bro, the cow's like, not now, motherfucker. Doug Bowser was asked about his opinion on the price change of the game, but not his opinion, obviously, he's the head of Nintendo. We all know where his opinion would lie. But why this was a change, and he stated that depending on the quality of the game will be depending the price. But the question is, folks, who determines the quality? The company?
Yeah, and when will I get my price refund for Skull and Violet?
Let me ask you, Twist, who chooses the quality of the game? Who's to choose whether they think it's quality or not? The developers or the audience?
That's kind of like the gray area of where a warning like that leads, because whether or not a game is high quality or not is so multifaceted that basing your pricing off of that is like saying that your company is based on one feature, and if that feature does not exist, your company is basically worthless. That was a dig at Tesla, by the way. I have a lot of thoughts about this. I will leave it, however, at the point that I just hope, that's all I really can do right now. I just hope that the people that decide whether or not something's like high quality or needs to last multi-years, that they actually make the decisions as good faith as possible, which is, I know, a lot to ask of the gaming space just in general, of the developer space, a lot to ask. But right now, that's, I think, also the only option that we do have, because if we as a collective gamer space, which is nearly impossible, if we all came together, like it's impossible, and say that something is like not high quality, what are we gonna do towards Nintendo specifically in this instance? Are we gonna tell them that their pricing was wrong and that we should receive refunds? They're just gonna laugh in our faces because they dictated anyway.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think we had this exact same conversation, because I'm getting a bit of deja vu in sense of my answer, if that makes sense. So I think before it was one of those where I agree with you, where if everyone just said, no, this is not acceptable, we're not buying the game, and if the game received like hardly anyone buying it, they would have no choice to lower the price. But with so many people worrying about FOMO and worrying about missing out, they're just going to buy it anyway, right? And I think we said that before, correct me if I'm wrong, that's going to be a huge problem.
Definitely dwelt in this area of conversation.
Yeah, which one? I mean, over 2 years of Twisty being there, that's I'd imagine so. No, I'd imagine so. Bray also said, they also said if you get first place in all the cups, you unlock the last race. That's pretty cool. So, chat, let me know. Everyone in chat right now. Again, shout out to Voices, Bray. Shout out. Oh, by the way, hello Flicks. How are you, bro? Shout out to Flicks. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you for your comments. And whether I argue with them or not, I appreciate you being here and appreciate you commenting. And me disagreeing with an opinion or disagreeing with something, it's not a dig at you. It's just an open conversation. Me and Twisty have had many back and forths over the years. AI cough cough. But you know, it's always remained respectful. More for the discuss. Do you think Nintendo saw other companies upping their prices and moved first? So I'll say this, Voices. I don't think Nintendo are the bad apple of the bunch. I think they were the best apple of the bunch that has slowly started gaining rot on the apple. That's how I think it's going. I think Nintendo have looked around them, because let's be honest, right? Regardless to if PlayStation or Xbox up their prices, Nintendo are still going to outsell them, right? Nintendo game, okay, Mario Kart was the biggest game on the Switch. No wonder Mario Kart World's launching with the Switch 2. Mario Kart World 8 is the biggest game on the Switch, and it's not even a Switch exclusive game. It launched on the Wii U first, right? So it's just a port. Yeah. It's more of a deluxe version than anything. In regards to, did they see other companies and think we'll do it first? I just think they thought they could just get away with it. No doubt they looked at PlayStation and thought, well, PlayStation done it with $70. We could do it with $80. But the problem is PlayStation have always been known to rinse consumers of their money, right? PlayStation have been known for that for a very long time. They've always had the more expensive console. They've always had the more expensive games. Look at the PlayStation 3. The most expensive, it was like nearly $400, I believe, or $350. Something ridiculous when it dropped. It was ridiculous.
Probably, I don't know off the top of my head.
Compared to the Xbox 360 in that generation, and I think the Nintendo Wii in that generation, the price of the PS3 was fucking ridiculous. I mean, PlayStation 5 is what, 500 or 550, 600, something like that. I don't know.
Let's not forget the recent increases in prices for certain PS5 consoles.
Yeah. I mean, obviously scalpers didn't fucking help that, but like, yeah. Oh, you got the PlayStation 5 Pro as well, which is like an even more expensive version of the PlayStation. So I don't quite think Nintendo is as bad as PlayStation. Xbox have also made fucking stupid things in the past as well. By the way, I just want to say, for people before they think I'm an Xbox fanboy, I don't think it's worth having an Xbox. There's no exclusive games. PlayStation are getting all our games. PC are getting all our games. If you have the money, get a PC. All right, that'd be my opinion in terms of gamings. Elias said literally everything.
Sorry.
No, go on, bro.
I just want to say you can get crazy value nowadays with very little money. The main bulk of your money, like at least 70%, is graphics cards and processor. The rest is, you can basically make do with super cheap HDD 512 gigabytes. That's basically like 1 or 2 games nowadays, but you can make do with that.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think I do want to say one thing, like, I will never talk about hardware being expensive or being bad, because most companies sell their hardware at a loss, right? The Nintendo 3DS, perfect example. They sold that at $350 because they wanted to get a gain on what they spent on the system, but because it flopped so badly, they dropped the price. Every single 3DS was sold at a loss because they was hoping that the software, all the games that released on the console, would make the money back, right? So I'm not going to moan too much about hardware because chips cost a lot. You know, graphics cards cost a lot. As Twisty just said, like, it's a very difficult thing for developers or companies to do, and a lot of them do sell at a loss. So I'm not going to moan about the Switch being expensive. I personally, hot take, I think the console is worth the money. I think the console is worth the money. So I'll say that. It's the games I'm talking about. That's my thing. The software. That's where Bray said, MFG, how about the new items like Kamex Magic Ball, where the racers turn into enemies and coin shot? Oh, really? That's it. I heard there's a lot of new items in Mario Kart, and it's gonna. But I'm happy about that. All the diversity. I like having depth into the game. I like seeing new things. You know, Elias said literally everything is more expensive. It was bound to happen. I think that's fair, but the problem is, I actually looked at this, Twisty. This is an interesting thing. So in my local shop, well, in the local pre-owned shop, there's a PlayStation 2 section, right, for PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah.
And PlayStation 2, this one game, Red Dead Revolver, I think it was, the first Red Dead game that came out. A lot of people, no one really played it. But that had a sticker on it for how much it cost when it first come out. And the price was £40. And we were buying games for £40 throughout PlayStation 2, Nintendo 3DS, I think was 40, GameCube games, PlayStation 3 games. It's only until I think the PS4 and the Xbox One is when games started to go past that £40. You know, it's been 3 generations and it's crept up $10 every generation, right? PlayStation were the first.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 were the first. I think PlayStation 4 and 360 went up to about 60. PlayStation 5 put it up to 70. Xbox put out a statement that they're matching that with their games now. And now Nintendo the funny thing is though, Nintendo's not a new generation. It's the same generation as the current state of Xbox, right? It's not a new gen for them. It's the hardware isn't next generation. It's the hardware PlayStation and Xbox fans have already got, if not better. But they now got the increase on £80. So my worry is Mario Kart worth £80? I think it is. But is every other game that comes out at £80 going to be worth it? I don't think so. That's what I'm worried about, right? Like, Mario Kart, you're only ever going to get one in the whole generation, right? We're going to have to wait for the Switch 3 or whatever the fuck the next one's going to be called for a next Mario Kart, right? So it's not like they're going to release a Mario Kart every year and price it at £80. There's only one throughout the whole generation. But Twisty, do you think a lot of the games are going to release at £80 or what is it? $80, sorry. Or do you think Nintendo will be right and it'll just be depending on the game? I'm worried that more will be.
I don't think that everything will be priced around 80. There's probably gonna be a lot of games that still will break the 60, let's just say bucks. It's the $60 ceiling, so they go to around the range of 70, which is like current generation console games. But I've also seen like proposed prices for Switch 2 games that are relatively new, that will be relatively new, that are around the $40 range. I think I've even sent like screenshots of that on the Trainer Launch server somewhere. But I'm just surprised about the range that these prices are supposedly gonna be. It's kind of confusing in a sense, at least, that there seems to be like genuine thought behind how the prices are actually like scheduled or how they're dictated, because at least for me it felt like in the past 4 or 5 years or so, it was like everything on the PS5 70. No matter the game, it was always 70. Doesn't matter if it's gonna be the 10th remaster of
Skyrim.
GTA 5, it's
Hello.
still 70. Yeah, everything is 70, and basically Xbox just followed along, and it just is so surprising that seems to be at least an approach that's happening right now. I'm not sure what to think of that. I'm not sure if that is even gonna hold up all that much, since some developers might actually look at this and think we're not gonna undersell ourselves, so we artificially gonna say our game is worth much more than it actually is. And that's at least a worry that I have.
Yeah.
And I just quickly want to address one comment from Deadly. My brother said to save up 1,500 before I get a computer. That's if you want to future-proof it for the next 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
If you just want to play something that's like current gen, you can make do very easily with up to $700. Very easily. I mean,
You got to shop around for a bit. For 700,
yeah.
you got to shop around for a bit.
Yeah, you probably might not get like if you're an Nvidia guy, 4070 Ti or something like that. That's probably gonna be 1,200 for the next 5 years. But with the current like availability of cards and processors, I'm pretty sure that current generation gaming for for $700 is very easily achievable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. Obviously, I've got a few topics. I've just thought of one I want to ask your opinion on. So, are you okay for time at the moment, Twist? Yeah, you okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Also, everyone, I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far, man. It's good to be back with Twisty. Of course, for those that have jumped in, hello, I am MFG. This is Twisty. We do talk about a lot of topics regarding gaming. A lot of it's mainly Pokemon, but there's a lot of stuff going on in gaming right now, and we tend to try and jump into all sorts of things. So if you are enjoying the podcast, please let us know in the comments. We see all of you, and for the first time in the podcast history, we've now got a chat box. So we want to make the viewers feel like a part of it, right? So even when people are watching back, they can see what people are saying alongside us too. So shout out to all of you. I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know what you think of the podcast so far, man. I'll just catching up on chat. So the worst thing about the high launch prices of the Switch games is that they hold their price for so long, even pre-owned. So yeah, that's the thing I want to quickly get into. So for example, like if you want to buy Pokemon Sword and Shield, they're still £50. Their launch price was £50. They released in 2019, right? They released 6 years ago, but do you know what's funny? Do you know when Nintendo started doing that, Twisty? Do you know what generation it was they started doing that?
I almost want to say Generation 5 or 4.
So the generation they started doing it with, in terms of Nintendo consoles, was the generation of the Switch, right? So...
Oh, I thought you meant Pokemon specifically.
Oh, sorry. No, so it would have been...
No, in that case, I would have said probably the Wii. Because I feel like the last time I've seen a Wii game, it was basically at the same price than it was at launch.
So the Switch is... So I was watching a video yesterday. I was trying to get a little bit of information on Nintendo and the history before doing this podcast. And fun fact, the Switch is when they changed the model that no game will ever go on sale. They can go on sale, but it's very rare that it'll ever go really low, right? But I don't know if any of you remember Nintendo Classics, where... they would surpass 1 million units sold, and then they re-released the game, but in like a special box art that's got like Nintendo Classics on the top of it, and it's got like a gold case, and you can buy the game for cheaper. They did this with a lot of Nintendo 64. They did it with a lot of GameCube games. I remember Wind Waker in the gold case. There's been a lot of games. 3DS didn't really have a lot, especially... Pokemon fans wouldn't really know this because Pokemon never really goes on sale, so Pokemon's a bit different, but of course it's the biggest franchise in the world, so of course it will be. Deadly said it's going to hurt a lot of games because people are going to have to start getting picky about what game they want to buy. And that's why, again, I sing Xbox praises, because I don't have to do that with Xbox. If I've got the subscription, as long as it's a first-party game by them, I don't have to worry about it. But you're very true. It's very correct, bro. For me... I'm lucky enough that I make enough content. I get a bit of money here and there. It can help with the bills, or I can get myself a game with it, right? So I am quite lucky. But there's a lot of people that are just not getting the Switch at all because of the price. Sorry, Twisty, do you have something to say? My bad.
Yeah, that's just... It made me remember one short that I watched recently that basically showcased that these game key cards that the Switch basically introduced. And, like, you can get... the game cards, you can like transfer them from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 and all that. However, the absolutely weird thing is that if you select a game to be transferred via game key card, essentially, that even if there's like a mention on your profile, on your Nintendo Online profile, that you've already owned the game, you can't download the game just via eShop. You have to get the game from the original console via game key card.
Yeah, that's strange.
I,
Yeah. So,
I have to check if I find the short again, but it was such a weird thing,
so
and
you mean
I
you have to go on
couldn't
your
believe at
original
first.
console, click the button to accept it, blah blah blah, then to go onto the other. So you can't even. So what? The problem with that, or the problem that I assume you're stating, is that you can't sell your Switch to get the Switch 2 because you still need that original Switch to be able to transfer up, right? In that sense, is that correct? I don't know. Tell me if not.
Sorry, can you please say that again?
Yeah,
I
no,
only
you're
half
all,
listening.
no, you're all good, bro. You're all good. So like, I assume you need the original Nintendo Switch to be able to do that, right?
Yeah,
So there's a lot of people
essentially.
in order to afford the Switch 2, they will sell their current Switch to get money so they can then buy the new console. But for those players that do that, they then won't be able to transfer up because they don't have the original left. So that would be the issue, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I've sent a short that I've seen in the Podcast Boys chat. So if you want to check that out, or if you want to link it, or if you want to watch it on live, I don't know what you want to do with it, but it's there.
Okay. No, I'll definitely look into it, man. There's one thing I want to talk because we were talking about a lot of game prices, and the one thing I want to mention is Bethesda actually. Obviously Bethesda have come into fire in recent years. However, their most recent game that they brought out made shockwaves in the world for quite I'd say probably like the week it was out. And I want to ask your opinion on this, Twisty. So Oblivion, I want to talk about. Now we know Oblivion got remade, right? Now Oblivion Remaster came out not at £70, it came out at £50, right? The remaster dropped at £50. I think it's fair to call that game a remake in nearly every sense because it looks so fucking good. It looks just like a remake. Like, obviously, they've just remade it in a new graphics engine. It's the same game under the cover, but so I understand why it's a remaster, but it's such a high quality remaster, and it was shadow dropped. Obviously, there was a few leaks in the week saying it's coming out this date, but they just done a live stream and said, by the way, the game's out now. Enjoy. What's your opinion on shadow drops? In the sense of, like, imagine if Pokemon did a Pokemon Direct and said, Generation 10's out now, go and buy it. What's your opinion? Do you like shadow drops? Do you prefer having a trailer and waiting years? What's your opinion on it?
It's not really that I like or dislike shadow drops. Like, even if Monolith would have a like a specific release of, hey, the new Xenoblade Chronicles 4 is out, buy it now, I wouldn't be like, I'm so mad that I wasn't able to prepare for this. I would be like, oh, that's amazing. Uh, I guess that goes different from person to person. However, I think there's an element to shadow dropping that you have to fulfill before you can do it, and that is you have to have enough clout basically to do that. If you're an indie developer and you're shadow dropping your game, you're killing your own game. Like, you have to at least have some influencers, some campaigns, something on the, I don't know, Twitter, Blue Sky, or wherever. You have to promote your game somewhere as an indie developer, definitely. If
Yeah.
you're a company like Game Freak, you can shadow drop 5 Pokemon games and they will sell like nothing else. They are gonna sell simply because Pokemon fans are gonna go for their fix. And that's not an insult to Pokemon fans because I would also want my fix as long as the quality is good.
Yeah.
Scarlet Violet. It's more of a, can you afford to do it? Or I guess if you wanna like go a little bit across that, how much do you want to share about your game before you drop it? because leaks are one thing, but from official sources is what I think is the only way that people should actually look into, or at least people reporting on official sources. I think that's the only way that news should actually be delivered. It's always a tricky needle to thread when it comes to how much do you show from the official side, because we have had examples of developers. No Man's Sky for me is that best example where the head developer basically explained all of these different things that are gonna be in, and then at the end of the day, when the game came out, they weren't like actually perceivable the way that they were promised in the interview.
that was No Man's Sky's launch, bro.
Yeah. I mean, naturally, the guy is like, he was not really the best speaker, and if you really wanna like learn all about what went down there, watch the engoodening of No Man's Sky here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching it on Twitch, if you're watching the party on Twitch, or watch it on YouTube. It's a fantastic video that goes down basically every single aspect of what happened in that game specifically. What I'm trying to say with that is it's important that you know what you want to share before you share it, because it will either be used to, like, at launch say, this isn't there, this isn't how it was promoted, and all of those things are fair. But it's also a case of we haven't been shown enough to have an expectation, so we're not gonna buy because we don't want to purchase the cat in the bag, as the saying goes. It's quite tricky in that regard. Of course, big development studios like honestly, Rockstar could shadow drop GTA 6 and the game would still sell 10 million copies in 3 days. It would happen. No questions asked. The internet moves very fast.
Oh yeah, I mean, even in today's age, the internet's bigger than it's ever been. Just see my cat cuddling Sophie. How fucking cute. So Naps said, we're about to see an indie revolution because AA games are going to be so pricey. Games like Celeste are going to blossom because Silksong is going to be so pricey. Temtem will gain popularity because ZA is going to be so much. Yeah, Dark Deity is going to gain steam because Fire Emblem is going to cost an arm and a leg. And I think that's a very fair point. I think that's true. And I did just think before reading that comments, it does open the market up for a lot of competition, right? But then that competition's only going to go so far because every developer goes down the path of, oh my god, we've got so much steam. Why don't we increase the price of our next game, right? And that tends to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate cycle of game development. The downloads will be connected to your eShop account, Voice has said. So apparently you can still download your games on eShop if you've got them on the Switch too. I don't know.
According to the short that I saw, of course, it was a pre-release Switch 2, so maybe there's like some form of day one patch security thing that there wasn't a workaround for. Maybe that was a case.
Yeah.
But it was just what I had available to me at the time. That is all I'm saying.
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm glad to hear it, just in case that is the case. We're like, oh shit, so that's what we were talking about. Yeah, no, definitely. Nap said also for the keycard ones, how will that work for used games? Like, is it a one-time use and then the cartridge is no good? Or would it be able to be used multiple times? So I think I said this before, I got this wrong. I was like, I thought the Switch was going to do the whole Xbox One system before they backtracked, where you buy a game and you can only use that game once. So you put the game on your Switch and that key gets shared with your account and no other account can use the game. I thought that's how it would work. I don't think that's how it's going to work, because then no Nintendo game would be able to be pre-owned at all, full stop. So I don't think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure if you buy the physical version, you should be able to. I don't think it works like that. I think you should be able. I mean, so if someone in chat can tell me otherwise, because That would be crazy if you can buy a game and only use it once. That would be fucking
I'm not
insane.
actually sure. Sorry to interrupt there.
It's alright.
Because I think that with the Switch 2, we're not gonna get physical copies anymore, and we're just gonna have like an activation code in the package.
Let me take a look.
So I'm not even sure if the second market, the second-hand market, is even gonna be available for Switch 2.
Let me have a look, man. Can Switch 2 games be pre-owned? That's probably the best title to put in, right? Let's have a look. So a lot of people, yes, pre-owned games, pre-owned Switch 2 games are likely to be available. I said likely. I'm pretty sure it would be. I think pre-owned games are available. Pyro's name. Sorry, Pyro. We can hardly see your name on there, bro. It's very blue. But also, welcome in, buddy. How are you? I'm just looking at this now. Okay, let's have a look. So, someone said on Reddit 2 months ago, will used Switch 2 games work for Switch 2? I was looking at how the Switch 2 cartridges work with the game key unlocking a download from the eShop, and I wondered, how will this work for second-hand games? Will the game key forever be... Thank you, Soph. Will the game key forever be linked to the original purchase of console, thus making the second-hand market incompatible? That's what me and Twisty were just talking about. Someone said, nah, this replaces game download code in the box. Releases specifically, so that instead of selling code only works once, the box includes an empty card that can be resold. So the way it works, I assume, which is the way games work on the PlayStation and Xbox, I can give Twisty my card of Legends EA.
Acknowledge me!
Also, we got an acknowledge me. Oh my lord.
That's off, but you just got 5 gifties.
I just got 5 gifties? Oh my god, Twisty, give me 1 second,
On
because
YouTube.
we are going to
don't
get...
worry.
Right, I had to mute the alert because the alert plays. Oh my god. That's going to play for a hot second, man. So we'll have an interlude. Who was the 5 gifties?
Stephen Radford.
Stephen Redford with the gifties. Oh my god. Shout out to you, bro. I have to mute it, though. I have to mute the thing, otherwise we're going to get copyrighted on the video. So it's still going to play. It's going to play 3 more times. So shout out to Steve Redford, man, for that.
Wayne actually got a gifty.
Huh?
Wayne got a gifty for once.
Wayne got a gifted?
Yeah.
No way, Wayne got a gifted. That's insane. Right, we're nearly done. Twisty, get your stretches out, mate. Get your oos. Oos. I still don't know why that plays though. I don't know how that works. It's
A gifty instead of being the gifted.
huh?
Wayne getting the gifted sub instead of actually.
That's crazy. Okay. Make sure to take a drink. Let me just have a quick drink.
Elias has just subbed on Twitch.
Huh?
Elias has just subbed on Twitch.
Elias just subbed. Okay. Elias has just subbed as well. Twisty, we got a mad alerts coming in right now, bro. Right now, you guys won't be able to hear Twisty just because of. I mean, see, if you want, you can interrupt the podcast by giving me money. That also works too. Wait there. Let me just. I think we're good to go. Okay, we can now hear Twisty. Shout out Stephen Redford. Thank you for that, man. I do need to figure out though how to turn off thingy because I don't know why that still does. It's very strange. It's very weird. I've got alerts on, but there's still going. Was that Elias? Can I? Okay. Right. I think we're good to go. Right. Cool. All right. I've removed alerts from the OBS thing. I clicked on the icon that gets rid of it off screen, so I thought that would have muted it. Apparently not. What the fuck? It's still going. Napster's just subbed. Twisty. Oh my god. Twisty. Napster's just subbed.
Napster's just subbed for 3 months.
Napster just subbed for 3 months. What's that on Twitch or YouTube?
On Twitch.
Wow. Napster, bro. Thank you. Had to allow you to test it. Yeah, I removed. We now have a Twitch hype train. Shout out to all of you, man. Fucking hell. First podcast back and you like crazy. I apologize.
That's the only guy who would spend money just to test something.
Yeah, Napster's the type of guy to go, fuck it, just test, see if it works, have it, bro. He's nuts. He's nuts. But we can hear Twisty. We are back. Shout out for all the support, man. I appreciate all of you. Legends, honestly. Elias said, while we're doing subs, petition to bring the cat emoji back. I mean, Sophie has access to the My Faction Guy Twitch, so she can just... Oh, she'll sort. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Shout out to all of you, though, man, with the subs. I appreciate Stefan. I appreciate Elias. I appreciate Napster. Shout out to you, man. We thank you. Hopefully, Joe Hendry doesn't demonetize the fucking video. I tried to mute because I thought it was finished, so I unmuted it, and all I hear "say is," and I was like, "No, fuck." But crazy. So what was you saying? What was you saying before Joe Andrew decided to invade? Yeah, Nintendo Switch. So someone said replaces the game download code in a box. Releases specifically. So have you ever bought a Switch game where the download's inside of the case? It's on a little card. I don't know if you've ever bought one. So if you bought, like for example on the 3DS, if you bought a physical version of Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, instead of getting a card, there was a code inside that you would use the download code. So now every single game will act as a physical copy. Every single game will have the key inside the cartridge so you can give it to your friends, I imagine. So it's still going to work, but it works like Xbox and PlayStation where you put the disc in and it just downloads the game from the internet, basically. That's I think how it's going to work, I assume. Okay. So I think that's the case. So yeah, it should work fine. You should still be able to borrow games. So I don't think that's going to be a worry. Thankfully, let me have a look. I'm trying to think of what we was going to go into after that. I had the Switch news up earlier, but I think is that gone? No, it's there. Okay, it's there. Let me have a look. So Twist, what was it you said? I don't know if you've already spoke about it. You mentioned in the podcast chat speaking about something. You might have already mentioned it though.
The state of purchase, what it means nowadays in gaming, and I kind of already hit on that with the whole talking about what a purchase actually is. You spend money, you exchange it. Oh my god, the aggressive cat. You spend money, you purchase a product, that product becomes yours, and Nintendo basically and other developers basically saying that, no, you're wrong about that. You spent money on something and we allow you to basically use it for a while. And EA, like, I've actually fallen victim to EA basically removing my games from my account. Because if you don't log into Origin, I think for around a year or so, they will remove all the games on your account, and it's basically just gone.
Yeah.
Fuck the consumer, am I right?
Oh, Kirby, relax, man. If you want to climb on me, you can climb on me, but you can't moan when I have to stop you from trying to grab my face, okay? If you're going to climb on me, boy. Stop stressing. He's very weird right now. He just wants cuddles, but if I don't give it him his way, he moans. He's turned into a teenager, all right? Like, he'll try and climb on me, but if I try and help him climb on me, he will then moan. So, a little thing Kirby's doing. Sorry about that. Elias wanted a ginger cat back. You have one. Give me... No, I'm not actually muted. It's broke. It's not actually muted. Just Twisty, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I do this, right, and then... Okay, I was muted there, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, it is worrying. I'm glad Nintendo are not going down the road, though, of stopping people from buying games or pre-owned games. That would be fucking dreadful. I would be very, very, very concerned about that. So, the next topic, going slightly to our root of the podcast. Twisty, Pokemon Legends EA dropping in October the 16th. Any thoughts on this, man? Any thoughts? Are you happy about this date? Because it's a little bit earlier than November. A little bit earlier than November, no?
Yeah. Overall, I'm quite happy with the date because that means that finally a Legends game will be the big game for the holiday season. So that's definitely interesting to see how that will impact the perception of Pokemon fans. If they think that the Legends game, which is not really competitively focused, is gonna be like perceived better because it's like possibly the one game that they're gonna buy for the holiday season. Um, when it comes to the game itself, I'm still mixed about it. It's like this weird mash of it has to switch issue of it's not really the most like fluid when it comes to frame rate and quality just in general. The gameplay system looks hella interesting. I've been wanting this kind of semi-realistic or actually more realistic battle style for ages. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of moves track, how many moves will actually hit you or affect you no matter what. The one instance of stealth rock being used was hella interesting. I'm quite interested to see if we can have like, can you beat Pokemon Legends ZA with just like wall moves, with just moves that are walls? That could be an interesting challenge to
The
do.
passive playthrough.
Um, Essentially, somewhat pacifist playthrough. Stop hitting yourself. But aside from that, there's a lot of mystery. At least I haven't seen a lot of leaks. Because of course I try to avoid leaks like the plague when it comes to new Pokemon game. Um, about what happens actually with one reveal at the end of the last trailer where there was like this weird energy flux thing that you are facing and we have no idea what that actually is. Um, it's gonna be at least interesting to see what they're trying to do with that because we've never really had like this development or this redevelopment of something. You might want to argue the Pokemon League in Generation 7, but I still think that's more on a smaller scale than what ZA is doing right now, is going to do. Um, yeah, again, I am not really all that in the know about all the new Mega Evolutions, and I don't want to be. Uh, so seeing what kind of new Mega Evolutions might come into, yeah, I see you smirking. Uh, might come into play is gonna be interesting. I definitely can't see the two Generation 2 and the one Gen 5 Pokemon getting Megas, so it is what it is. Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, and the cooldown system, which is very Xenoblade-esque, is something that I am looking forward to see how that affects gameplay.
Cooldown system.
Because it basically has like these four battle commands that you can use, and they're going on a cooldown depending on the attack.
Oh, the attacks.
That's
Yeah,
that's very much like the way that Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3 had their like attacks presented in this like diamond shape at the bottom right corner. Yeah, that's basically everything that I currently have on the game. It's currently like a mixed bag with some very interesting and very hype things, but I will withhold judgment until I can actually experience it myself.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like, so again, chat. Everyone here right now. I know a lot of my MFG audience aren't exactly Pokemon fans. You guys know me for something a bit different. Grown men wrestling each other in their underwear, essentially. But if any of you are Pokemon fans, let us know if you're excited for Legends ZA. I am less excited since seeing the trailer of what the game will be like. I was very much hoping for Legends Arceus style, very much hoping for a resource gathering world. Just hoping for more of a, I don't know. This feels like it's more Scarlet and Violet than it is Legends ZA. Obviously, the battle system's completely changed, as Twisty's just said. for those that don't know, the battle system is timed, okay? So if you use like flamethrower, that move will have a cooldown of so many seconds before you can use it again, which is really cool. It's more like live action than it ever has been, right? It's very, I think it's semi live action fights, because the way that it works is you still control the trainer, but in order to get your Pokemon to dodge moves, you've got to run, and then the Pokemon will just chase after you. Which, imagine you're in a real Pokemon battle, and then fucking Leon's Charizard uses Overheat, and then you've got to run to dodge it, bro. What the fuck? What? Why? Like, I'm looking at Venusaur. Venusaur, run. He's like, bro, you're not running. I don't need to run. You're fighting. Fucking run. You know? So, that confuses me. Like, if that's the case, why can't we just control the Pokemon? Why can't we just control the Pokemon? Why... At this point, we know that controlling Pokemon's a thing because of Scarlet and Violet. Why can't we just control the Pokemon? Why do we have to run and then the Pokemon follow us? What the fuck? Why can't we just control the Pokemon once they're out of the ball? You know? Because then we can actually choose where the Pokemon runs to dodge. I think that's the next evolution, excuse the pun, of the games. I think that's where they should go. It don't make much sense to make the trainer a part of the battle, in my opinion. You wouldn't... I mean, Ash probably would. But just imagine if, like, Cynthia's Garchomp used Dragon Claw, you'd be cooked, bro. The trainer would die, okay? There's no Pokemon Center, bro. You are on fucking life support. So I don't quite understand that. The day and night
Get
systems...
2 copies because you'll need them.
Yeah. Imagine that, you just die and the copy just says, thank you for playing, and then you can't play that copy anymore. It's like it's a Nuzlocke game card. You die, that's it. The game card just dies. That's insane. So the day and night cycle, where daytime sort of like a friendly stroll through the city, and then nighttime is just you jumping people on rooftops, is nuts.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, like, bro, when in Pokemon have you been able to go up to a trainer and go, surprise, motherfucker, go, you know, like, when have you been able to do that, bro? What's that about? Like, there's good old Terry who's upstairs on his rooftop looking into the sunset, loving life, and out of nowhere, fucking mega spoiler alert comes along and hits him in the back, and then he's like, bro, what the fuck, you know? Like, it's very strange. I try and put a bit of humour into it, but it is very strange to begin with. But I'm excited. There will be a playthrough of Pokemon on this channel, okay? We have started making Pokemon content now. On Wednesday, we started with Kanto. I know, right? Kanto of all games. But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu will begin uploading on Wednesday. So if you're looking forward to the playthrough, it's just a bug standard playthrough. We're going to try and play through a couple of Pokemon games before Legend comes out. So I've already built up that Pokemon audience. But shout out to everyone who is showing love to the content. Tomorrow, the Minecraft series launches on here. Tuesday, the Grand Theft Auto 4, which I've already recorded and made. Actually, if you're a member, you can go and watch it right now for free. So you don't have to wait till Tuesday. So that's pretty fucking dope. And yeah, man, we're doing a lot of content on this channel. It's going to be a bit nuts. And now the podcast is here to bring it all full circle. So... That's a wonderful thing. That is a wonderful thing. So before we wrap up, pretty much, I just want to talk about. Here's an article here. Here's another look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Switch 2 graphic update. Nintendo has released more images that show the graphical update of Scarlet and Violet will be getting on the Switch 2 ahead of the new console's launch next week. This was a few days back. Some of you have probably seen this. It's the picture where it's in the ocean. It's ironically that they're using Lag Lake to show this image. That's quite interesting.
Again, no one knows the actual name of the location. Everyone calls it Lag Lake. If you know the actual location, you are a nerd.
See, I had this argument with Onesie. Apparently, no one calls it Lag Lake. I'm like, bro, what? Chat, do you call it Lag Lake or Casoria Lake, whatever the fuck it's called? Right, it's Lag Lake, bro. I'm sorry, that's what it's called. I don't make the rules, all right? But in this image, there's a lot of Pokemon. There's more. Elias said, I'm a nerd. Elias said, controlling the Mon is too Mystery Dungeon. Imagine a Pokemon game actually giving us a good hybrid. They would never. Oh, firing shots. So you can see Pokemon from further away, making them look even more vivid. The post reads, with improved frame rates and other features, bro, we need improved frame rates on Scarlet and Violet, allowing you to enjoy your adventure comfortably. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are a part of a group of 12 Nintendo Switch games that will be getting free updates when the Switch 2 releases on June 5th. So I'm assuming the update will be available day one. Reading that, right? The original announcement says that the dual Pokemon titles will have their visuals optimized for the Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality, as well as improved frame rate and smoother movement. Twisty, will Pokemon Scarlet... I know Scarlet and Violet's dog shit on the Switch. Would it be good on the Switch 2, though? Like, let's just say you had no experience of the Switch Scarlet and Violet and you just played the Switch 2 version. Do you think people will go, wow, this actually is a really good game. It runs really well. What's your prediction? I know we've not got it, but we love predictions. So what's your prediction?
Before I answer that, I just want to quickly call out Tina. My sister and Arceus, you played a Monster Hunter board game. If you're not a nerd, no one is. I do the same thing, okay? Not ashamed to be a nerd. Sorry about that. But yeah. We're all a happy family of nerds. You're very welcome here. Don't worry about it. When it comes to the Switch 2 version of Scarlet and Violet, and I've already corrected Sleepy Joe Merrick on this on Blue Sky, there are gonna be apologists that will call out that this is the thing that we all should have waited for, that people vastly overestimated the shit quality that the game came out with, and I already have seen like at least 2 or 3 creators on YouTube already saying that that the Switch 2 saves Scarlet and Violet. You can all go the fuck to hell. No, this is not a saving. This is not even a rationalization. This is a sad band-aid on a fucking disgusting, useless cash grab in the form of Scarlet and Violet, and I will not hear anyone correct me on this. I think I killed Flop.
Game Freak just got... That's insane. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Cook, carry on.
Do I have a rat dot on my forehead?
Proceed to cook. Proceed to cook. Okay. Here's the ingredients. I'm just throwing the ingredients. Go for it, bro.
No, just to wrap that up. Yeah, sure, the game might actually run in the state that it should have been optimized for a Switch 1. And sure, people might praise that, but I will personally make sure that no one forgets the fucking disgusting cash grab that Scarlet and Violet was for 3 fucking years.
Well, I think it was quite
And that
a
was
high
my
quality.
word for the Sunday.
I think it was quite a high quality product, Twisty. Okay, that exceeded expectations.
Fuck you and your devil's advocate
Bro,
bullshit.
I was just pretending to be Joe Merrick. What do you mean? Pyro just says something fucking hilarious. Hopefully, when we go to Casaria Lake, we can have frames per second instead of seconds per frame. That's insane. That's insane. That's crazy. So, to add on to Twisty's point, right? If you have Scarlet and Violet and you put it into your Switch 2, there is an upgrade available to you. But guess what, Twisty? Do you think, right? Someone play some quiz music. Dun, 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 dun. Do you think, Twisty, A, you can put the card in and start playing on this enhanced version? Do you think, B, I was going to have a C, but fuck it. Do you think, B, you have to pour even more money into Scarlet and Violet to get this upgrade pack? What do you think, A or B? Dun, dun,
Definitely
dun,
not
dun,
A.
Dun, 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 dun. What are you saying? Are you saying Nintendo and Game Freak aren't consumer friendly, Twisty? What do you? The answer is B. All right, you got to pay 10 fucking. Now, okay, there's some people that go, oh, it's not a lot of money, bro. With how dog shit Scarlet and Violet was on the Switch, this shit should be free. This should be a sorry, bro. This should be a fucking sorry, okay?
They should give every consumer $10 as payback, as remuneration.
We just get fucking £10 on that eShop gift card, you know? It's just in our balance. Sorry.
Sorry about the fuck up that was Scarlet and Violet.
Tina, I'm on Scarlet and Violet right now. Just Tina's just getting fucking strays and shots
You
left
poor
and right.
soul.
So you have to pay. I will be paying that £10 because I make content from it. Okay, I will be uploading a video saying how good is Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 actually. So expect a clickbait. It'll probably be twisty like just out, like it'll probably have some clickbait over it or something. But we're gonna be making that video. But I'm gonna talk about the titles that are available. So Twisty, I'm gonna read each title, and I want a scale between 1 and 10 of whether you agree with it having an upgrade pack. Right, 1 being yes, this game absolutely needs it. 10 being this game fucking needs an upgrade pack straight away. Or no, we're not talking about the price of it. We're just talking about whether you think the game needs it. Okay. Or 1 being, why the fuck are you doing this? All right. So, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
8.
8. Okay. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
9.
Okay. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
3.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
8.
Okay. Pokemon Legends ZA.
9.
Yeah, I agree. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I don't mean my ginger cat. I'd buy that game though. I'd buy that game.
I'm gonna go with a 7.
7. Okay. Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
It's Sid Meier, by the way. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 5.
Did you say it's Super Mario, by the way? Sid Meier?
Sid Meier.
I thought you said Super Mario. I was like, oh, sorry, Sid Meier.
No,
Sid
it's
Meier.
Sid Meier.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said Super Mario. I was like, bro, I swear this doesn't look like Mario. This looks insane. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed. No offense, okay? I just am not as knowledgeable at the whole catalog of the Switch. I'm gonna say 5 because I don't know anything about it.
Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. So if you like Story of Seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the following game.
4.
And the last one, Fantasy Life Isle 1, The Girl Who Steals Time.
Also didn't know that existed. Also a 5 because I can't judge it.
So the point I'm making is, out of interest, why is it only 12 games getting upgrades? Why can't you just put a Switch 1 game in and it just plays better? Because Xbox and PlayStation do that.
The thought process that I'm having is that a lot of these games, minus Breath of the Wild, were developed in a time frame, and they are favorable for Nintendo because they're like, I don't know, possibly like in-studio developers. And they were developed in a time frame when the Switch 2 was just getting like into a state where developers could get developer kits for it, but they couldn't switch, pun definitely intended, to the new developer system because they were already so far that they had to basically commit to the Switch 1, or else they would have scrapped like 80 to 85% of the progress. That's at least my thought process behind it.
No, that's fair. No, fair enough. I think it's a bit weird that it. So what? I don't know the way it works with ZA. I don't know if you can buy the game on a Switch, and then when you buy the Switch 2, you just pay the upgrade price. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can.
I'm pretty sure it works that way, yeah.
Or if, for me, for example, if I want to buy the Switch 2, I can just buy Legends EA on the Switch 2, which is just, it's the same game, just with the upgrade price, right? For $70. So, interested in that Legends EA is not $80, but Mario Kart World is. Now, I understand why. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, so, I have a bit of trivia for you, Twisty, before we wrap up. Unless there's anything else you want to speak about.
Just quickly towards Tina, I do think that Tears of the Kingdom specifically, at least when I played it, I did have a couple of instances where the game wasn't as fluent. So I would definitely want the update, the upgrade, because I think that having any form of performance issues on a game that is as normally fluent as the two latest Legend of Zelda games, that's a big disservice to how actually close to the status of masterpiece they actually are. So I think that's just I think it's necessary to make those games as good as possible. Clearly, it doesn't absolve Nintendo from not optimizing them better. Like, they have optimized it clearly better than Game Freak has. That's a given. But there's still like this little bit of wiggle room where there's just that one explosion on screen that's too much, so the frame rate dips. I'm not sure if I'm alone with that or if I just had an an unusual thing happen. I'm not sure. It's just that I can only speak from my own experience here. So I would want it because I think it's it's just better for the game itself, because I think the game itself deserves to be played with such a better standard behind it.
Yeah.
Fuck SB.
I think I just want to add a comment to what you've just said. First of all, Pyro said, I'm on Nintendo's website looking for a list of games getting free updates for Switch 2. Scarlet Violet is actually on it. Yeah, I got it completely fucking wrong. You do not pay for it. I've just checked. Thank you. I'm going to talk about that in a second because there's a few games I just want to throw up. So, Pyro, thank you for that. I do apologise. You do not have to pay for the Scarlet and Violet upgrade. So, shit, I said it should be free. Actually is. So, my bad. I'm sorry. It's a free update, which thankfully I don't have to. I think Sophie would fucking strangle me if I spent any more money on the launch of the Switch, right?
I would.
So yeah, she just said she would. So I just want to quickly add on to Twisty's point. Another thing is, I don't want to call people out. But there's a lot of people that solely play the Switch. They don't play any other consoles. They don't play PC. I'm not saying any of you in the chat, but there's a lot of people that really only play the Switch, right? And those people would not have experienced 60 frames in a video game. They wouldn't have experienced it. They wouldn't know why they'd want it. They wouldn't know why it's needed. To them, it just sounds like a middle school update. But I promise you, for anyone that has not experienced 60 frame games, I'm not even talking about 120 or fucking whatever else, right? The difference between 30 frames and 60 frames is night and day. It's ridiculous. Like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 60 frames will hit hard. It will hit. Speedrunners are another audience that will 100% get the game if it's 60 frames because they, it optimizes the game for them. That's another. So I think if you've not, I'm not saying Tina hasn't. I'm sure Tina's got other consoles because she plays. I think she's got a PS5. I think. But 60 frames. I don't know if you agree, Twisty. It's night and day, right? 60 frames versus 30.
Yeah, absolutely. The funny
Mario
thing
Kart
is, I
is,
actually
sorry.
have like a friend like close to where I live that is exactly like that. That he's actually told me a couple of times. I don't see the difference between 30 FPS and 60 FPS. I'm like, brother, I can show you a comparison video right now. If you don't see it, please tell me what you don't see so I can point it out to you, because it is a huge difference. We can't see like every single detail in the difference between 30 FPS versus 60 FPS, but generally speaking, there's a very noticeable improving in things like smoothness at the very least, and
Yeah.
also the faster the more regular updates to like what's happening in the game, because you have double the frames portrayed. you can react in racing games. I've said this a couple of times on the party as well. You can react so much better to what's happening on a racing game because you have so many more frames to work with that visualized for you, and it's just insane how much of a difference playing a racing game in 30 FPS is versus 60 FPS. That's massive.
I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is actually 60 on the Switch. So I am aware there are certain games on
Yeah.
Switch 2 that are on Switch 1 that are already 60 frames. Racing games like Mario Kart is one of them, and another game are normally 2D side scrollers like Metroid Beyond, is that what it's called? That's probably 60 frames, I can't confirm. But a lot of side scrollers and indie games that don't take up a lot of power for the Switch, they normally tend to run at 60 frames anyway. But I'd say 98% of Switch games are all 30 frames. Well, unless you're Scarlet and Violet, in which you are 5. But beside the point. So just talking about free Switch 2 games, if you don't mind me talking about this, Twisty, the updates that are coming out for free. So ARMS is a game that's getting a free update. Optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. Another thing quickly before I mention ARMS. Another thing that the Switch 2 can do for these upgrades is field of depth. You can see things in the distance a lot more. The loading speeds are increased. There's loads of reasons to why you'd want to play games on an updated console, right? So, like, that's just one of them. Again, Scarlet and Violet will be optimizing that. You'll be able to see Pokemon spawning from a further longer way. More Pokemon spawning at the same time because of the power of the system, right? I'm just praying for 60 frames for Scarlet and Violet, but we'll see. So ARMS is getting higher visuals, frame rates optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 for smoother movement, even when playing with 3 or more players, and HDR support for ARMS. Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain. These I need to get this game, man. Level up my intelligence. Up to 4 people can play in party mode and share locally for share online game VI chat. That type of game is not going to get a visual update because it's one of those games that why you don't need it. It's not. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker visuals optimized for the Switch 2 display and high TVs for improved image quality. HDR support. 2 people can play all of the courses and share locally or share online via game chat. Clubhouse 51 games. Up to 4 people can play 34 games and game chats enabled. Game Builder Garage visuals optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 and supports Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. Which, by the way, me and Twisty have not spoke about the mouse control thing for the Switch 2, but I'll get into that after this as a little mini topic before we wrap up with Twisty. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe visuals are optimized for. It doesn't say anything about frame rate, so I don't know. Scarlet and Violet. Visuals optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs, and frame rate improved for smoother movement, which is the biggest issue of Scarlet and Violet, hands down. So we'll see what happens with it. Super Mario 3D World visuals, frame rate, and HDR support. Up to 4 people can play Super Mario 3D World. In Bowser's Fury, 2 people can play together with 1 player controlling Mario and the other controlling Bowser Jr. and game chat. Super Mario Odyssey is getting a free update. Visuals HDR. Apparently 2 players can play together with 1 player controlling Mario and the other player controlling Cappy. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Share locally or share online via game chat. That's pretty cool. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Visuals, basically the upgrade. Again, the game, I'm pretty sure, is pretty smooth anyway. And The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for visuals and HDR support. So quite a few games are getting free updates. There's a lot I'm pretty interested in. Odyssey's a cool one, 2 players. But I don't think that's 2 players online. I imagine that's only locally, I assume. I don't know. But Twisty, so with the Switch 2, we are getting mouse controls, as you've probably seen in trailers and seen. Do you think that's just going to be a niche thing, or do you think it's actually going to be very useful, depending on how it works?
Since the Switch has had games like Borderlands, for instance, and also the new Metroid Prime 4, I think it's very good to have the capability of quickly switching. Like, it's pretty it's pretty quick and smooth. to basically switch from a regular 2 Joy-Con to one being a mouse, so to speak. I think that's a great thing, and I'll be honest, I wanted something like this for years when I still played GTA 5, because I don't know how other people feel about driving in GTA 5 and then having to swap to like shooting. But for me personally, driving is better with a controller, and then shooting is obviously better with keyboard mouse. The other way around, I can't deal with it. I've wanted some. Of course, you can have a controller, and then quickly, when you're out, you can swap basically.
Launch the
But
control.
if you, yeah, uh, if you want to do like a lot of like getting out and then getting back in, then you have to get your controller back from the 5 meters that you've thrown it. Uh, and I've wanted something like this for literal years, and it's so interesting to see that the Switch is actually getting that. It's really interesting, and I think it's just amazing to have as an option. Like they could have said you have to get like an extra mouse. You have to buy a specific Switch 2 mouse for that function to be usable in the first place. They decided not to. And as much as I shit on Nintendo, rightfully so, I might add, that's something that I think is a smart business decision on their part. Because how much more are you gonna charge people for extra controller or extra accessories? Like, I like that. That's all I'm gonna say. I really like it.
Options are cool, and I think that's the main thing
Yep.
I'll say about it. The fact that you have that choice. Again, motion control is a great thing in, like, for example, Splatoon 2, you know? The Pro Controller and the motion control is actually very useful in a lot of games. And I think it goes without saying, shooting with a mouse is so much better. Like, even I'm a controller guy, right? But the precision on a mouse control is so easy to maintain on people compared to what your thumb can do, right? Moving the right, it's night and day between the both. There are some games where I'm like, how's it going to work in terms of, because when you turn it to a mouse, I imagine some buttons you can reach, some you can't. So will the mapping be different? I don't know. It's interesting. So I do wonder, does one Joy-Con have more usability and the other one's just a camera control? And I don't know. It's interesting. I'm quite excited to see how that works. Again, all of this stuff I will be testing out on day one. If there's any mouse control for things I can use, I'll try it out and show people. I will be streaming on Thursday. Thursday is my technical day off in the schedule, but this Thursday the Switch 2 drops. So it's quite good how I've managed to make that my day off. We're going to be streaming the Switch 2 the moment we get it. We're going to be taking a look at it and having a look, really, see what it's all about. I'm probably going to play
If I
privately.
had to guess,
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'm pretty sure that you can just set like your mouse preference of for each hand, like in either the game's settings or the Switch's settings. That's like my thought process behind it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hopefully that's the case. Because again, that just it brings more options open to people. But yeah, man, that's mainly the topic. So I want to shout out to everyone that's been in chat. By the way, it's been quite an active chat throughout the entire show. Considering we've not done this for a while. I don't know about you, Twisty. I think it's been quite fucking active today. Yeah, trying to catch up with chat. It's been a bit of a whoo, you know. Shout out to all you.
Oh, it's great.
So we're going to wrap this up with a little bit of trivia. And I thought we're going to do something we've never done before. All right. And I am going to test your knowledge, Twisty. Okay. And I'm going to test your knowledge on a few different
Can only
things.
be embarrassing.
Right, let me take a look. So, we all know, if you didn't know, our beautiful friend Twisty is from the fantastic, beautiful city of Germany. Sorry, the country Germany. Right? Don't worry, ignore it. But
Sounded American for a second.
there's a lot of dates that are very different in Germany. Probably not recently, but in history for games to release in Germany, right? I imagine, Twist, you might have had to wait longer for certain games than what other countries would. Probably more when you was a child, probably than you do now, right? So,
Yep.
Pokemon Red and Blue was released, as we all know, February 27th, 1996, okay? But, Twisty, when did Pokemon Red and Blue come out in Germany?
It was 1997. Just don't ask me about the day and month.
Are you sure it was 1997?
I'm quite certain it was 1997. Yeah, I haven't got a clue about date or month. Day or month.
Okay, so believe it or not, the Pokemon franchise first reached Germany on September the 1st, 1999, when the first airing of Pikachu on RTL2 in the German language. But the German release of Pokemon Red and Blue followed shortly on October the 8th, 1999. Because I'm pretty sure Europe didn't get it until 1999. Because we were a few years behind Japan for Pokemon at that stage, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow, I was way off.
Yeah, I think I'll check when it released in English. I'll double check. I think we got it slightly before, but I think it was the same year. Was it not? We got it actually, we had it a whole year before. September the 28th, 1998. That's in America.
Oh, wow.
That's wild. So Germany had to wait for quite a while for that. But let's take a look at the next game. Pokemon Gold and Silver, Twisty. When did that release in Germany? So just to give you a little idea, Japan it released in 1999. Australia and North America in 2000. So when did we, alongside you, get Pokemon Gold and Silver?
You were probably like 5 and not proficient in reading calendars yet.
Yeah. To be fair, you were very young. It's okay. It's okay. I wouldn't have got these right.
That hurts. That hurts.
You don't have to have the date, by the way, because the date doesn't show here. It just says a year. So if you can guess the year, that's good enough.
I almost want to say 2001 on that one.
If you said 2001, you'd be correct.
Yeah.
You'd be correct. It was 2001 for the German release, alongside the UK release as well, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So we know Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out 2003. But when did it release in Germany, Twister?
2004.
2004.
I feel like it's this big connection to 2004.
In Germany, would it have been called the Rubin edition?
Rubin und Saphir.
Yeah. That accent. Oh, the tongue roll, folks. Unbelievable seconds. Okay, so when did you think it launched, sorry? 2004?
I think it was 2004.
So it actually released in Germany 25th of July, 2003. 2003. Okay, we're moving up.
I have a face where I wasn't able to read calendars.
So, Pokemon Diamant and Pearl in Germany. However would you say it, Twisty? However would you say it?
Diamant Perle.
Diamant and Pearl. Nice. So, let me just take a look. This site's in German, so I can't read German. But I can translate. It's okay. I can translate. That's fine. So, let's have a look. So, when did it release in Germany? Does it not say here? It doesn't even say here. For fuck's sake. Oh, we are. Oh, I've got an article on Bulbapedia. Nice. So it doesn't say Germany, but it says Europe. So I assume most of it's correct. For this. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
I think at some point, like, Europe got grouped together because of, like, Nintendo of Europe and all those things.
Yep.
I guess.
So let's take a look where we at. So we've already had Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, I don't know. It's probably going to be too long. So do you know what? You know what? Out of 3, Twisty. Out of 3, you didn't do too bad. You didn't do too bad. You didn't do too bad. But I think before we wrap up, we'll go old school, Twisty. We'll go old school. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? So, we've done this before. Who's that Pokemon? We've not done in a long time, and I know a lot of you in the chat quite like who's that Pokemon. So we're gonna pick a Pokemon. Right, let's have a look. I think I'm gonna pick that one. Yeah, we're gonna pick this Pokemon, right?
That one, I know that one very well.
We're gonna pick this one. So, Twisty, would you like this Pokemon's? Oh, I'm not gonna give the ability yet. I don't think I'll give the ability yet. What do I want to give? So, would you like this Pokemon's base happiness or this Pokemon's weakness? I'll give you all of its weaknesses by 2, by the way.
Weakness, sure.
So this Pokemon is 2 times weak to fire. It's 2 times weak to ice. It's 2 times weak to poison. 2 times weak to flying. And 2 times weak to bug.
Sorry, if I may, I want to write that down.
I can repeat it again. That's okay. So let me know. You want me to repeat, or is your pen working?
My pen just self-destructed. What the fuck? I am not making this shit up. There's supposed to be an extra set of, like, I'm not sure how well I can show this. This is supposed to be on top of my pen.
Yeah,
It just flew out. Every single time I need you, you fail me.
Yeah, that sounds like my mum.
I'm just gonna use a regular pencil. 2 times fire, 2 times ice.
Poison. Flying. And bug.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I should probably like close my windows in case anyone in chat guesses. Weak to fire, ice, poison, flying, and bug.
Elijah's right. Anyone remember those pens with water in them? And then there was a lady, you'd tip them up, and the clothes would drop off?
Huh?
I never got that
What
pen.
kind of weird pens did you have in your school days?
Right? Just asking for a friend. Where can I buy that pen, by the way? Okay. Okay, so, would you like this Pokemon's held item that it can be found with? Or would you like one of its Pokemon's typings?
I'll take the hold item.
Okay. This Pokemon's held item, it can be found with a Miracle Seed. Okay. Okay. So now we are on number... So, do you have a guess? I was meant to do one on the first one, but we didn't have a guess yet. So, would you like a guess?
I'm gonna say Celebi.
Celebi?
Yeah.
It's actually not Celebi.
Okay.
It is not Celebi. Because I think Celebi would also be weak to Ghost because it's a Psychic type, right? And Dark.
Oh, yeah, right. Right.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Would you like a move that this Pokemon learns? Or, or would you like a TM that this Pokemon can learn?
A move that it learns.
So a move it learns by level up. It can learn the move Leafage at level 5. So do you have a guess? Oh, actually, I'll give you a piece of free information as well. And it can also learn the TM Grassy Terrain. Tina said, I reckon a grass starter in between Gen 2, but starters can't be caught with an item unless they can in Scarlet and Violet. But
Leafage, GM, grassy terrain. That bug. Poison. Maybe I went the wrong direction. I I thought it was a dual type because I wasn't thinking too clearly about it. Maybe it's a pure grass type. I'm saying Maractus.
okay, if you guess Maractus, you would actually be incorrect. Okay, so would you like this Pokemon's height or weight?
Ooh. I'll take the height.
That's how you know that society's got worse. Because on episode 1, we could mention height and weight, and now that we say it, we're like, ooh, ooh, are we being fattest? Okay, so its height is 1.4 inches or 0.4 meters, whatever you prefer.
0.4 meters. Oh shit.
So, how would you know it's a dual typing?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm playing look.
You can't look at the screen, son.
I'll just put my guessing in there.
Hmm.
You can't talk to me and then expect me not to turn around.
I don't know. For Mantis?
It's not for Mantis. I will give you another piece of information though for free. So I gave you its height. I'm about to give you its weight. This Pokemon, okay, it's actually quite more heavy than I thought. 7.3 pounds or 3.3 kg.
Okay.
Pyro said, I think I know them on now. Wow, really? Okay, okay. So, you already had a guess, so don't worry, you haven't got a guess again. I'm gonna, So now, would you like this Pokemon's ability or this Pokemon's only typing? I feel like you know its typing already.
I feel like I know the typing. I'll take the ability.
This Pokemon's ability is Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
Do you have any guesses?
It's the base ability or the hidden ability?
It's its only ability.
Ah. Not having interacted with any Pokemon whatsoever for the last year or so definitely shows. I, I almost wanted to say the German name. I almost said Mirapla, but it's Oddish. I'm just going with Oddish. I'm not even sure if poison resists poison anymore.
Would you? I thought you said Cherim then, because you said Cherim name.
No.
Oddish. You want to go for Oddish?
Yeah.
It's not Oddish because Oddish would be weak to Psychic because of its poison typing.
My brain is not braining.
Okay, I lied. Said it can be whatever it wants to be. Okay.
It has to be Ditto.
Would you like this Pokemon's gender ratio, right? Or would you like to know whether it can evolve or not?
Right, month it can be whatever it wants to be. I'll take the possible evolution or not.
This Pokemon can evolve only once.
Ah.
And a free piece of information I will give to you is this Pokemon evolves at level 25.
It's definitely grass type Pikachu.
Such a thing exists. Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe in Gen 10 it's a electric grass type. Um. um, uh. I think Petalil evolves via stone.
I think Petalil evolves twice. I'm pretty sure. Or does it not? No, it evolves once. I think. Do you want to go Petalil?
I don't know.
Well, the fact that I don't know if it evolves twice probably confirms that it's not Petalil. As I have all the information there.
Okay. Actually, very nice hidden confirmation.
Spoiler alert, if I'm
I
ever
don't-
unsure on a piece of information, it's probably not that Pokemon.
I mean, you could scroll first, or you need to scroll first. I don't know.
Pyro, he doesn't have
Um,
the chat up, so you can spy. You can say it if you want, bro. You can say what you think it is.
Yeah, just go wild, knock yourself
Yeah,
out.
chat go wild, man. Get guesses in.
I don't know.
Chat may have got the answer though.
Here. Fuck. What's the Hisuian? Like the one Hisuian boss battle. The pre-evolution of
Yeah.
that. Is that also Petalil?
Yeah, that's Petalil, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Lilligren
I'm
you're
going
talking about,
Petalil
right?
anyway.
It's not Petalil. Now, this is the final round. In this round, I'm going to give you more information. Okay? So, this Pokemon's effort values is 1 special attack. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This Pokemon can be found in Generation 4. That was the first game it could be found in. So, it is a Generation 4 Pokemon. A grass type in Gen 4 that can only evolve once. That is a pure grass type that gives special attack. Quite a small grass Pokemon by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and in that case, it has to be Burmy. No. What? I wanted to say it can't be Burmy.
No, it's fine. That's
It's
okay. You saved yourself. It's okay.
it's Cherubi. Yeah, Cherubi.
Okay. So the first person to get this answer.
I was in my brain. It's solidified as it's either Burmy or Cherubi. And then I thought to Burmy, it can evolve twice, whether it's male or female. So that knocks it out of the category of it can only evolve once. So yeah, it's Cherubi.
So I think Tina said it first. I thought Pyro did say it before. Pyro has just said it. But Tina said it first. It is indeed Cherubi. Well done. Well done, Twisty. Well done. Well done. Okay. So we're going to do... Before we finish off, one more mini Who's That Pokemon, where we're just going to say the name in German and see if you know the Pokemon. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to have to try and find a...
Can be even more embarrassing.
Yes, if you don't know this one, chat, you ain't getting this one, by the way. So, if someone does, I mean, fair play. But,
If I don't get it, you don't get it.
Okay. Twisty, I don't want you to say the name straight away. This is where you get to laugh at chat. The Pokemon's German name is Hunduster. So I assume you know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So now, chat, you have to try and guess what Hunduster is, okay? See if anyone can guess it. Someone's probably going to Google it, to be fair. So, you know. First person to get it wins a virtual cookie. All right. Hunduster. What a mad name, by the way. It's an amazing name. Pyro said...
it really is.
Pyro said, how about Houndour? Okay, for fuck's sake. I thought I would have had you with that one. Pyro. Okay. I gotta try... I gotta try one last one. I've got to try one last one. This one's so stupid. I'm not gonna use this one, but fucking Kingdra's name in Germany is Seedra King.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What the fuck? Actually, I could have used that because then people probably wouldn't have got it. All right, okay. One more Pokemon.
To get the authentic pronunciation, it's not even Cedra King, it's Zedra King.
Oh, is that what it is?
so-
Seedra King.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
That was actually quite good.
Thank you, man. I still can't roll the tongue though. Very jealous. Christina says Houndoom. Houndoom. It is Houndour. It is Houndour. Okay. Last one. Again, if you Google it, you're cheating yourself, right? You're cheating yourself. But I think Twisty will know. We'll see. We'll see. It's more of a recent generation, so we'll see if Twisty gets it. But Twisty, when you get a new Pokemon game, do you play it in German or English?
English.
Okay, but are you aware of all the German names for the new ones, or not really at this point?
It's hit or miss.
Okay. This German Pokemon name is Hoplo. I see confusion on Twisty's face now. Or Hoplo? Hoplo? I don't know. Hoplo. Hoplo.
Uplo. Okay.
Hoplo. Paris said, yeah, I don't know this one. See, you can get it first. The German native or you guys. Please don't Google. You cheated yourself. I'll give you a clue. It likes to hop.
Embarrassing.
It likes to hop.
No shit, Sherlock.
I'll give you a clue as well. It's a Generation 8 Pokemon. So, have you got chat up, by the way?
No.
Okay, so there it's spot. It's a Generation 8 Pokemon. Tina has got it. Tina has got it. Of course, Tina had a fucking German fucking... I was going to say it then. I was going to say it.
Which motherfucker originate hops? I mean, Hop does hop because he's Hop. But it's a Pokemon, not a trainer.
I mean, YouTube chat is a little delayed. Elias said Bunnelby. No, Tina's got it right. Tina has got it right.
Bunnelby's Gen 6, so that's not plausible.
Elias probably thought it was Gen 8 because she's played it on Sword and Shield.
Fair enough.
Also, Cat cleaning himself. Spyro. Did you put him there for a visual?
No, you broke my seat. So
Visual representation of the
Right,
cats.
yeah, to make the stream look nicer. Is that what?
it happened to be in the camera at the same time.
Soph, when are you going to sit on the cat tree and start licking yourself?
I'll break it.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Right. I'll give you a clue. Hop can actually have this Pokemon.
Say that again, please.
Hop, the trainer Hop, can actually have this Pokemon. Elias said, I don't
It's
claim
not
to know my
Wooloo
gens.
because Wooloo does not hop. Dubwool, no, also doesn't hop.
So when I said he can have this Pokemon, it depends on the Pokemon that you've got.
Oh my!
The penny drops.
In that game, in that case, it has to be Score Bunny.
It is
Because
indeed.
yeah, Score Bunny fucking hops.
It is indeed Score Bunny. Now, before we wrap up, Twisty, I want you to pick a legendary Pokemon that you know in German that you don't think chat are going to be able to get. And I'm going to see if I can guess it, because this time I'm not in control. You're in control, buddy. So pick a Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon that, I don't know if there is one in German, that sounds crazy, but you would know.
When you say legendary, are we gonna count things like
What, mythicals?
Mythicals as well?
If you want. Mythicals and
On.
legendaries, why not?
Gonna double check something.
Yeah, I think a lot of legendaries might be the same in other languages, so this might be a hard one for Twisty. But
Yeah, there's. I noticed from memory, but there is like almost no difference in how they're actually called. Maybe like a small difference in how they are written, but generally they're very much the same.
okay, well if that is the case, and it's really hard to find a legend that's different, you can pick any Pokemon then that has a crazy name that you don't think we'd know. Yeah, you are
No,
right.
I'm
Lewis.
actually double checking something because I had a very good contender picked already, and I'm currently debating between that and something else I'm seeing right now, and I'm picking the second one, Amigento.
So is this a legendary, mythical, or
It is, just so I don't spread false information, it's a legendary Pokemon.
and what's his name?
Amigento.
Amigento.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, you have chat up. Have chat up because it doesn't mean for you. You can have chat up to see if someone's got it.
My
Amigento.
personal favorite Pokemon name in German is Schlurp.
Schlurp. Amigento. There's nothing that resembles anything that I know. Tina knows it.
Of course, Tina
Of
knows
course
it.
she knows it. Of course she knows it.
Schlurp equals Licky Tongue, and that is true.
Sure. On the 3DS, so that's gens 1 to 7. That narrows it down. It doesn't. It's gens 1 to 6 if you're resetting it on the 3DS. Amigento. Okay. Oh,
That's
Evo.
correct. That's like one piece of it of information that I'm also gonna give you. It can evolve. I know. It's
Pi-
crazy, right?
Piapole.
No. Well, it's not that it evolves, it's that it's the evolution. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Naganadel.
Nope. There is a second one.
Manaphy? No, Manaphy can't evolve. Well, it wouldn't be Cosmog because
No.
you can't hunt that.
Nope.
A legendary that can evolve?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Actually, yeah, there are three. Correct, yeah.
Gen 1 can't. None in Gen 2. I didn't know if you was going for a second one though, Tina. Gen 2, none can evolve. Gen 3, none can evolve. No, they can't. Gen 4, obviously, there's a baby form of Manaphy, but that can't evolve.
Yeah, man, if you can only breed.
It can be more. Fuck. So yeah, I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, I know what it is. Did you say it's the evolution or pre-evolution?
The evolution.
Silvally.
Correct.
Fuck. Because I don't. Okay, I know it is. I know it is the legendary. I don't class it as one because you just get it, don't you? It's just given to you, but. I always
Yeah,
forget.
that's why I double checked, and on the wiki page of it, it says it's a legendary. So that's what I based it off of.
Fuck, man. Good one. Good one. It's always horrible when I'm on the other side of these because I'm like, fuck. But GG's, Tina. GG's.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult one.
Well,
I absolutely will admit that.
There you go, folks. Trainer Lounge episode 1 on the MFG channel. Twisty, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I had a lot of fun with this one. I think this was
Absolutely.
This was good fun, man. Shout out to all of you. We've had new people here. Obviously, we've got our resident Trainer Lounge family in Tina, Elias, Napster, Voices, Pyro, amongst many others. Shout out to all of you for being here too. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, man. Be ready to see Twisty's face quite a lot, because I imagine Twisty is going to be showing up to do some madness in the future of the podcast. And I just want to thank all of you, man. This is the new home of the Trainer Lounge now. Makes sense with all of my content being here. I may as well. I feel bad for the podcast going on a channel with 46 subscribers. Fuck that, baby. It's time to put it out to 2,000 subscribers. So thank you for everyone for coming tonight, man. I appreciate all of you. That probably isn't a sentence I should repeat. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Jesus Christ. Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight. All right. I appreciate all of you. Twisty, I appreciate you, mate, for lending 2.5 hours to the stream. So thank you very much.
First of all, no worries. Second of all, never call me babe again.
I called you babe? What? When did I call you babe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you called me babe.
I think I might have said mate. It just sounded like babe. But Twisty babe, thank you for coming.
Don't even call me, babe.
I was going to say, I don't even call... I call Sophie mate. She fucking hates it. I love you, babes. I love you all, my babes. Thank you. I'm going to wrap up this, though, here, man. Again, I'm not going to upload this to the channel because it's going to be available in the live stream. So just go to live. If you ever want to see what podcasts I've uploaded, just go to the live and you'll see it. It's there. All right. And I'll be seeing you guys pretty much every day. All right. Tomorrow, we've got Minecraft and a WWE stream. Tuesday, we've got Grand Theft Auto 4. Wednesday, we've got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And on Thursday, I will be live with the Nintendo Switch DOS. Okay. With that being said, folks, thank you so much for watching the Trainer Lounge podcast. Hopefully, the next time we are back, we see Onesie and Napster alongside our resident Twisty. With that being said, folks, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. And I'll be seeing you very, very soon. Peace the fuck out. Alright, Twisty, thank you.